Hello everyone, welcome back to the Summoners War European League Day number 7 today, our final League Day week before we get into those crazy playoffs. Of course, it's me, Sam, joined by the all-wondrous, almighty, ever-present Seishizu.
Welcome guys, we're looking for some amazing matches today. I've been asked like a few times in the previous weeks, oh, is Obabo playing, is Pinkroyd playing, is this one playing, is that one playing? This week, everyone is playing, so this is gonna be great.
Yep, so if you've got any favorites of the players that are going to be competing in this European League, they're all going to be in action tonight, all of them playing 2 matches. And if you don't know what's happening here, why are we here? Where have you been for the past 6 weeks? We've been here every single Wednesday, cracking through this Summoners War European League with some crazy matches, everybody playing their best of 2 sets against their opponents with the final 2 matches that everyone will be taking today in order to try and get as high as they possibly can on our Summoners War European League leaderboard. Now, obviously, we're here. It's League Day 7. It's getting to that crunch point. A lot of them are sitting in different points on the league table, and they need to get some serious points to maybe get themselves into those promotion spots. Maybe just to run you through what we've been doing then for the past 6 weeks before this. There's been a total of 6 weeks where people have been playing against other players in the Summoners War European League in a best-of-2 format, where each set win guarantees you 1 point on that leaderboard. The more points you have, the higher you will progress on that leaderboard, and you're looking to get into the top 8, who will then advance to the playoffs, which is coming up next week. So make sure you stay around and listen to what we've got to say around that. And in that, there'll then be some best of 5 matches, best of 7 matches, and your seeding within the leaderboard will dictate where you start in that playoff section. Now, obviously, we're doing it for fun. No, we're not. There's 10,000 euros on the line for these guys that they can grab some nice little cash on their way as they've earned it. They've been playing some crazy good matches, and that's what we are here for. Now, you saw that us there teasing a little bit about the playoffs. They are going to be coming up next week. And with that, there are some kind of things that are going to be maybe need to be explained a little bit further about the leaderboard in order to dictate what their final seeding will be on that leaderboard. Now, you might see already, if you haven't already, use the command SWEL or EL in chat, and you can bring up the whole current leaderboard that is in progression right now. And a lot of those people have got some mixture of points. We have people like Obabo, Pinkroyd sitting very nicely at the top with 12 points there. Some of the others, maybe nice Smiser, Adrey sitting quite low, 3 and 7 points. Now in total, they are trying to get into that top 8, and securing those set wins is how you're going to be able to progress further. Now, I should explain, if people are on the same points during this Summoners War leaderboard, there are a criteria of things that are in the rule books in order to dictate who goes in the higher spot than the next person. We go through, first of all, the head-to-head record. So, for example, if the player lost 2 sets to that player who would be on the same amount of points, then they will be above them in the leaderboard. If that is the same and they drew a match 1-1, we then go to the total amount of set wins that actually happens in the Summoners War European League. Next step for that would be the match wins, so the amount of matches that they've actually won a 2-0 of. Then finally, at the end, if everything is still the exact same in our Summoners War European League, we will be having tie-break matches of best of 3 sets at the end of this stream today. So all of these matches are going to be taking place today, no matter what, to find out exactly how the leaderboard and those playoffs will progress over the next couple of weeks. Now, obviously, there's a lot of explanation around that, and we'll be making sure we're giving people the full details, everything that they need to know about this. But how do you see it so far? I mean, you've seen the leaderboard there. Some people are sat quite comfortable on those 12 points, and then you have a little bit lower, 7 or 8. What do you think is the minimum points required to probably progress to those playoffs?
I would say 9 to 10 is probably the edge where it will be, but it will be a difficult spot as well, because in the end, players that are around 7 points, or let's say the players that are around 8 points, if they can win all of their matches, so they go 2-2-0s, it will still mean that they end up at 12 points, so they could actually tie with the people that are in the first slot right now. But only if those people, of course, don't win their match. So there's still a lot of people that can actually make it, or pretty much everyone, except Knights of Smiser can make it to the playoffs, because we did see him quite a bit lower in the playoffs, or in the league itself. However, it also really matters, as you can see here on the screen, where does a player end up? If you are the rank 1 seed, you immediately go to that round 3. And that definitely benefits a lot because if you win that round 3 match, you're instantly into the finals. And then you also can see that the seeding makes a lot of difference. Like, okay, you actually want to be in the top 2 position, like rather than just being in the playoffs. You also want to be as high as possible in the playoffs because if you're at a low place, you have to win 5 matches. Whereas if you're in the highest seed, you only have to win 2. Those are huge benefits that people would have to look for. So it's not just like, oh, I'm in top 8, I played fine. We can chill on the last week, it's fine. No. These people want to get the best possible result here today.
Exactly. You saw there from the nice little explanation of the asset that we had there and we showed you. So it does count where you come in terms of the seeding. You maybe also saw there we actually do have 2 separate playoff days next week. It is going to be changing from a Wednesday. We will be having Friday at 8 o'clock and we'll be having Saturday at 2 o'clock. Now, please remember as well, this weekend, it does change to European Standard Summertime. So it is technically the clock's going forwards or backwards. I don't quite remember right now, but it will be at the times I said 8 o'clock on Friday and Saturday will be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You can see all the matches here. So we were saying all of the players are playing tonight. Is there any particular match that stands out to you?
Well, actually, we have the current number 1 against the current number 2, which is Obabo and Roid being exactly tied in the same position right now for that number 1 spot. And they play against one another. So that's definitely an interesting match to look out for. But there's also a lot of those matches for the people that are just below the threshold of the top 8. So we're going to be looking against like pretty much all of those matches, which are going to be pretty exciting, I would say.
Yeah, they definitely are. I'm also looking at people like Hansol, like Adrey, like Angel that are kind of just on that border, like we were saying. Maybe if they can get to those 10 points, it could be a very nice jump up. You've even got the kind of the players in the mid-range at the moment as well, say. So like a Glorious. If he can string together a nice 4-set wins, he could jump really high. And like you said there, the less matches you play in the playoffs, the better it is for you. You don't have to come up against all of these strong opponents, which we've got in the Summoners War European League. And that's how you're going to be able to get part of that 10,000 euros cash prize. It's going to be super exciting. But before we get to those playoffs, obviously, we've still got our last League Day matches to take place as well. And they're going to be kicking off very, very soon as we're going to be looking at all of the players. Now, just to mention, I was looking through some of the stats earlier about all of the Summoners War European League so far. In total, 122 different monsters have been selected, either in banned, pre-banned, or throughout the games. How wide is this meta at the moment?
I think it's pretty wide, but just besides like the amount of units that are possibly usable, it's also the first picks are very versatile. Sure, we have seen a lot. Oh, we go straight into the match. Yeah. We have Angel with Adrey. We don't have any of the player profiles today. We go straight into the matches. We already know our players, so let's look at this match. For pre-bans, are we going for respect pre-bans again? We have seen the Veronica and the Maximilian often being pre-banned against Angel. On the other side of Adrey, it's more of a player maybe still around that Chandra Cigar, if I remember correctly. So maybe some of those units. Let's see.
Both players currently sit in the drop zone. Who will they decide to dedicate this match to? This might be a combination you can't miss, darlings. Here we go. Adrey versus Angel in our League Day 7, Match 7, Set 1. We do have that respect ban on the side of Adrey there, say, with the Veronica and a Heigang. Very strong unit, as we know. How do you think Adrey's going to follow up? Goes with a Maw. Also, the most picked unit so far in our Summoners War European League.
Angel responding pretty fast on that Maw with a Chandra plus a Maximilian. That is an interesting combination because that's definitely a combination you can lock in when that Heigang is already off the field. Adrey responding with an Asher and a Robo. Once again, Angel very fast responding, going for a typical cleave that we have seen quite a bunch of people do on ladder as well, with that Water Ezio and that Samath. Once again, good counter on that Diana and Abelio. These refs are going super fast.
They are. He's obviously changing things up there a bit, Adrey. He was going very much high-speed units with that speed lead, but seeing the response from Angel there, say, with the Samath, with the Water Ezio, again, very fast units. How do you think Angel can follow that up now?
The common comp on this one is actually finishing with a Kabila, and he actually goes for that instantly. So in this case, you will pretty much guaranteed outspeed. You have more speed leads, you have more fast units. You can leave that Asher in. However, what if they ban your Kabila? Now, probably you're still fast enough. You have to probably ban one of those fast units. Bans the Abelio, and also the Maximilian is banned. This is going to be a very interesting match right here.
Yeah, could be a very fast match. We've got speed leads from both of these guys going into our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 1, Set 1 between Adrey and Angel. Both of these guys really need the points to climb up that ladder, say. And here, taking that first turn is going to be the Kabila.
So Kabila moving first. We have the FCO. Can it land everything? It does land everything with the Moore taking over. However, Moore has to strip a whole bunch of debuffs to get anywhere. Doesn't quite get it. Does get an additional turn though, but I'm not really sure if this is a favorable additional turn at this moment because this can't stun anything. So let's see what he does. A little bit of extra damage, but this is what we're gonna look at. Can we push back the Diana? We cannot push back the Diana that much.
Nobody does get the stuns there, which is crucial at the moment. More coming in. We know it's built on Violent, and it's being used very well during the Summoners War European League. Say, how's he going to follow up now, Angel? How do you get through all the sustain, well, not sustain, all of the health on the side of Adrey right now?
Well, there's quite some health going on, but I did see that Diana was actually reset as well. So it can't go for the cycling right now, but it can go for the switch right now. However, if you go for the switch, you still have to go full into that Kabila. And that Kabila will probably go for a counter in that case, or will go for a counter because of the counter buff. Therefore decided to go for shields, but they're still, those shields are looking very lively on the side of Adrey right now.
Definitely is. We have to take into account right now, say as well, there's no insert cooltime for that Samath on the other side, so the moment it goes down, there could be a lot of damage. The shields need to probably stay up quite a lot longer.
Yeah, the shields have to stay up. The only thing is with that Samath, it's always a question like how much damage can you actually do towards those wind units. We did get a very nice stun on that Changpong right there, but if you go for skill 2 right now, we have seen that Samath is very squishy, therefore decides not to go for it. First waits for a little bit of healing. It's looking very lively at this moment, but this is going to be difficult. Robo can't be stunned.
No, it's not. Robo does that, able to take turn out. Only skill 1 is available, and Diana's going to be following now. Is she going to look to transform, say?
I probably wouldn't, because we have so fast of a unit following up, gets the additional turn, goes for once again the shield. So the Diana is trying to do a lot of things, but it's still working into those shields all the time. But I think this is getting more and more favorable for Adrey because the units are looking very lively. We have Samath coming back. Samath managing to kill one unit where the armor break was still on, but it was not enough, and that is a victory for Adrey.
Adrey coming out with that first set point. It's going to be crucial for him. He is currently around the same points as Angel as well in the Summoners War European League there. So you can see in the end he could sustain through any of the damage from Samath, and there wasn't really any further follow-up on the side of Angel apart from after that Chungpung, right?
Yeah, the thing is you kind of want to get Chungpung and then also preferably into armor breaks, but after that point you kind of want to, still get some damage in from the Samath. But if the damage from the Samath is not enough, then at some point it gets pretty difficult to actually make that whole team work. It's a team that we commonly see with Maximilian. It was well tried out, but let's see what we get for this match.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Angel, now we've seen his Maximilian being pre-banned along with that Alexandra as well. Is he going to look to maybe utilize some of his Veronica more, taking that speed lead? Again, like I was mentioning, the most picked monster at the moment in our Summoners War European League. How does Adrey look to respond? Is he going to also go for that speed contest at the start, say, you like in an Oliver? We usually speak about Sagar in this Summoners War European League.
Well, Adrey definitely likes his Asher. The Moore is actually a pick that Adrey normally likes a lot as well. In this position, it becomes a little bit more strange to go for a Veronica pick. So that's kind of what Adrey is trying to focus on. Like, if you just go speed units into a Veronica, Veronica kind of needs a little bit more to actually be viable in the slot 2 and 3 over here. And if the Veronica is not fitting in the slot 2 and 3, it's probably not that well placed. We're going for Zerath and a Changpung. That is a new unit that we can add to the list of 123, I think.
I think we did see one Zerath, but it might have been banned out already, say. But Zerath, what is Angel cooking right now? How do you think Adrey is going to look to respond? He's also there going with a Sonya, snipe unit potential. Does he follow it up with another speed lead necessarily?
Yeah, I definitely do think he has to be looking at speed leads. Oh, that's something we see in the current Special League a lot. The Adriana in combination with the Sonya, and then also the Water Series as a late pick. So you definitely have the damage potential on a lot of those fast units. So, Angel, if you have been playing Special League, did you figure out a counter against this? Because that's actually a difficult comp to play against. Goes for double fire to go for the counter, and we see a unit that one is definitely new. I'm pretty sure. Destiny.
Destiny is out on the field right now. Angel locking in very fast on that Mei Huang and the Carnal as well. So who you liking for the bans?
I would say you probably have to respect ban, well, those units.
I like it. Taking it right out of your mouth so you don't even have to guess. We're taking the speed lead into this Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 1, Set 2 between Adrey and Angel. Can Angel reclaim a point against Adrey and maybe jump up the leaderboard with him? Escher will be taking that first turn, boosting up the rest of the team. Is there a Sonya trap on the field? No.
Ooh, no Sonya trip, but we also have a very nice tuning of the Vanessa moving in front. We have the Destiny going for a lot of damage, but actually not enough to kill the monkey over here. So we do have... Oh, that's definitely an armor break you wanted to have on that field, because with that armor break, this skill 3 would have done a lot more damage. Are you still going to send it, or are you first going to go for the cleanse? Let's go for the cleanse right there.
He's waiting it out at the moment. Esche right now, third skill is available. Where's he going to be looking to put that damage? Usually can do quite a lot of damage as well from what we've seen these guys in the Summoners War European League say. Going into that Mei Hu Wang, not doing so much.
No, the Mei Hu Wang looking very lively still. If it has an additional turn, it can go for some recovery. Let's get a very nice additional turn, plus some recovery, plus a very nice stun. However, that stun, I'm not sure if it was 100% needed, because the Destiny only had skill 2 at that moment. But what we're gonna look at is this Zerath right now. Armor break with 1 unit. How much damage? That is a good amount of damage, but it did manage to glance on that Sonya and therefore didn't kill it.
Yeah, and Sonya now does get that attack bar as well. She is going to be following up very soon as well. Do you just tunnel that damage a little bit further into the Zerath to get him off the field, or is he offline for you?
Well, I think the Zerath is not going to do anything anytime soon. It still has the scaling of HP on the skill 1 as well, but in this case, I would say kind of ignored. The moment that you can take out the monkey, which he's focusing on right now, that is the winning potential for Adrey. But if he can't take out that monkey, it's going to be very difficult.
And you can see there, Mei Hu Wang managing to take out that Sonya. Vanessa still has some cool time on her skills as well to be able to do any revives, say. Esche taking out that Zerath now.
Taking out that Zerath, that's definitely interesting, because that was your opener where the monkey actually had an armor break. The next hit that you're going to do was also stunned at that moment. But that was your moment to take out that monkey. The Zerath you probably could have dealt with later, but the monkey is definitely the one that's going to be a winning factor in this match.
Adrey taking his time right now, is going to look to use that revive on the Sonya right now. Will it be able to take a turn, do you think, Say?
Well, the monkey is going to move pretty fast. If the monkey managed to land a glancing, because it's a lot faster on the Sonya because of that passive. However, it did manage to get a crit, and that is going to be a win for Angel right here, taking out that Vanessa.
Angel managing to get a point back against Adrey. Say that's going to do him wonders in the Summoners War European League, resulting in that match in a draw 1-1. So we've seen Zerath. He just waited a little bit longer and then was able to really carry out that damage on Adrey.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the end, it's a very strong unit, but it also has like a nice kit with that skill too. It does have the cleanse in there. It was managing to get the armor break and the oblivion off the monkey. So if that would have stayed longer, because Destiny lends them for a pretty long time in the first place, definitely something that did help out a lot.
Yeah, definitely looked to help him out, and getting those extra points, those set wins is crucial right now. Remember, keep up to date on the leaderboard, because things are going to be changing very quickly over here in the Summoners War European League. Great comeback from Angel there, Say. Maybe looking forward now into our next matchup. We do actually have Hansol versus Obabo. Both of these guys coming off the back of a few losses in their previous league weeks. And these guys as well actually Say have played each other a total of 12 times over the past 2 seasons, with Obabo having a 67% win rate against Hansol.
Yeah, these are definitely very important matches for Hansol to pick up, because he's somewhat lower on the leaderboards. If I'm not mistaken, he's below the threshold to be in on the playoffs. Obabo, of course, sitting at that very comfortable spot, but that also makes him a very difficult opponent to face for Hansol right here.
Definitely, and he still wants to get those wins right. He wants to extend that lead, secure that top 1 spot against Pink Roid at the moment right now, in order to make sure you're guaranteed to join us on the Saturday during the playoffs next week. And here we go. Hey guys, it has to be said, which one of these players will find the simplest of solutions to victory? Are we going to see a Hansol?
I think well, I don't know. Obabo these days hasn't been playing that much of Han. Also, both of those players, we are in the special league right now where you can't use your LD, so it's a little bit more difficult for these players to practice. But if Hansol, one of the things that he said, if every game is a Han game, has been playing it all the time, but if it does slightly fit, he will definitely lock it in. But are we going to see it banned? No, we're not going to see it banned. We're going to see that Atna banned, and we're going to see a Yeon Hong being banned.
Yeah, I think both of those units realistically are, ominous with both of these players. Say very strong units in the hands of both of these guys. Maybe before this stream as well, if any of the viewers were there, maybe you were seeing Obabo cooking with a Coco. Hansol has used a Coco in the Summoners War European League, but right now he's stolen that Hey Gang. Are we going to see the Cigar, Say?
I would definitely say that Cigar is always a very strong unit. It's also one of the most common units that Hansol likes to pick up. It's very common with that Vanessa. Could maybe go for Chandra. Actually likes the Chandra more, because Chandra is more of a steal, because he does know that Obabo also likes to use Chandra, and probably doesn't like to use that much of Vanessa.
Should mention it actually, so you were saying there is currently the Special League at the moment with no LD monsters. So I'm wondering if any of these guys have been slightly reruning, kind of testing things out in the current format of the game. And obviously with the recent balance patch from this morning, there's a lot of things that they maybe have to take into account. Obabo right now is deciding to steal the speed lead with the Oliver, and the Villagel partnering very well with that Hey Gang.
Ooh, we got a Hansol with a very fast response. He has seen this on the leaderboard and he knows what to play against. It goes for the Robo and the Han. So yes, definitely a Han game right here. And definitely some units that can already counter that Hey Gang. So it's not too much of a threat. Obabo probably has to be looking at like, okay, does he want to go full turn 2 on this? Or does he maybe want to speed contest it with like a segment? Ooh, goes for a Zima.
Going for the Zima with the Samath, so trying to make sure that he has that speed lead going in. Let's see if he decides to lock it in. He does right now decide to lock in that Zima as well.
Yeah, definitely an interesting one, but talking about interesting units, so is Pader. Pader is a very nice unit into those stripping units, so let's see what we have for bans over here. I would say that the Pader is probably a root spec ban. On the other side, we have that Zima ban.
That would have been his first time in the Summoners War European League, say, as well. So you do add another monster to the current list. We've got Chandra, we've got Oliver with the speed leads for both of these guys in our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 2, Set 1 between Hansol and Obabo. That Robo is going to be moving, say, with his second skill going in. Oh, resisted.
Yeah, a lot of resets. However, Obabo lands triple despair stun right off the get-go, and this is not looking that great for Hansol right off the get.
Definitely isn't. Oliver now can look to get some cool times on the rest of it. Oh, and even some math adding to the stuns as well, say.
Adding to the stuns, Han is reset right now. There's probably nothing going on anytime soon. Another stun. That's... Yeah, where we have Violent, that is actually capped. At some point it goes down in numbers the moment that you did already recently Violent. Despair is saying like, we don't care, we can Despair again and again and again.
Yeah, it's wondering now if Hansol can get online at all with any of his units. The Robo will be coming soon after the Chandra, but there's 4 units versus 3 at the moment.
Yeah, the only option would be getting that stun on the Oliver right now, and that creates a little bit of window to maybe do something. He did manage to get that stun. However, you're still looking at that Samath, and that Samath, when you don't have any sustain on your side, is going to be very dangerous, but that Oliver is also taking, once again, an additional turn.
Wow, managing to get the stuns, managing to get those additional turns, and they're playing out crucial right now. Oliver just pushing back the rest of Hansolot's team.
Yeah, definitely not a favorable position over here. We have to try to get those stuns once again. The glancing doesn't really matter for Despair stuns, but for the skill one itself, it does matter. Oliver, once again, taking an additional turn. Was close to full attack bar in that case, but Oliver definitely does like the additional turns. Once again, a lot of stuns. In this case, no stunts, but the team of Hansolot is not looking that lively. Can use push back a lot. Does not manage to push back that much on the Samath, which was actually the most important target at this moment. Can we kill? No kill, but more Despair stuns.
And we know as soon as Samath is going to be leaving the field, he'll be rejoining the field and doing a hell of a lot of damage, and there's hardly any health realistically left on the side of Hansol. And especially now, he can cycle through with that Villagel and the Hey Gang to push up the attack bar. Oliver, just to start finishing things off against that Chandra, as Obabo takes the 1-0 win against Hansol at the moment there, say. Hansol just couldn't really get online there. Obabo took that first turn and just made it work.
Well, it was actually not really the first turn. The Robo was the one that moved first. And the Robo, it's one of those units, if it immediately strips and then push backs a lot, the match could have been very different because it can actually counter Hey Gang. But the moment that he doesn't do that, the enemy gets online and just takes over with Despair stuns. And Oliver, yeah, match is over.
Yeah, match was over. We are going to be seeing the options of Etna and Yonghon in this next match. And we've got the bans there, pre-bans of a Villagel and a Hey Gang, say.
Yeah, definitely that Hey Gang. Well, that Hey Gang is actually banned by Obabo. He's like, okay, I like to play it first or I don't like to play it. So if I have it, I first pick it. If I don't have it, it's banned. Villagel being pre-banned is actually an interesting one. We haven't seen that too much.
Yeah, but Hansol going back to his typical cigar. Obabo very fast to lock in the Chandra and the Etna there as well. Are we ever going to have something very similar just with those units swapped over?
Well, I think the match will be slightly different. We could still see a Han and a Robo on the last 2 picks of Hansol. However, Hansol only has 1 fast unit right now. And there's already a very fast unit on the side of Obabo with that Etna. So I would say that Obabo has some more chance of going for like a bruiser-ish style if he wants. But he can also still lock in like a speed comp in here.
Let's see if he does lock in those speed comps. It's going to be the Zima. He has been ruined very fast as well in the past as well. And he's going to be partnering up with an Escher, so he has decided to go for that speed.
Yeah, speed comes. I definitely do like those 2 picks over here. That gives him a 5th slot of going for that speed lead in the 5th slot if he so pleases. On the other side, Hansol is like, okay, you take the speed game. We're fine on that. I'm actually going to go for Bruiser with that light pony in there. Locking it in with an Adrey. Interesting pick, but I actually kind of like it in this position.
Just want to say actually the Eleanor at the moment, currently the 2nd worst win rate monster with only 16% is in our Summoners War European League. Obabo now deciding to lock in that Verda Hill as well. It's going to be banned out along with the Eleanor as well. So we're going to be taking speed leads into our Summoners War European League Day 7. Match 2, set 2 between Hansol and Obabo. Hansol really needs to try and claim back a point against Obabo here. Say Yonghon will be taking that first turn.
The big question always with the Yonghon is, do you actually go for skill 2? If it lands, it's huge value. If you don't land it, it's a wasted turn. So decides to go for the safe play. Goes for the Zima, managed to actually land it on the Zima. However, Athna takes over right now. Athna can go for skill 3, would probably not recommend to go for skill 2 at this position, because the cycling is not gonna be there, because those Fions does not manage to actually do anything to that Antares, and there's huge damage going on to that Athna right now.
Etna's not looking healthy right now, and if Antares does take a turn anytime soon, it could be a dead Etna, but stuns and the defend from Chandra.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on, and also this Antares, if it doesn't want to take a turn, it doesn't want to take a turn, and this is definitely one of those matches where Antares is just sitting and chilling. He does not want to take a turn.
No, he's sleeping right now while he's stunned, but he's practically not being used at the moment. Let's see if he does take a turn for Hansol, because it could change things, but right now he's not looking healthy. Vanessa is still on the field, does he?
Yeah, and the Adrey just took a turn just before he was about to take a normal turn, so totally not in the right position over there, and that will probably cost Hansol the game here at this moment.
Let's see, Yonghon only has skill 1 available. Does she land a glance in? She does, but on that Etna, defended by the Chandra. She has that 3rd skill, and it's going to be enough to take out that Antares.
Yeah, Antares, it was an interesting pick over there. If it would have moved a lot more, it could have definitely done quite some work, but in this position, if the Antares doesn't want it, it ain't gonna happen, and in this match, it didn't happen.
No, we can see there, the bomb has been landed, the stun has come out as well, and Chandra's just going to be able to skill 3, maybe take out that Cigar very soon with a follow-up of Etna skill 2s coming in right now. Wow. Obabo managing to get 2-0 win against Hansol. Say that's going to extend his lead at the top of our Summoners War European League leaderboard. And like we said, if he gets into that top spot, he's guaranteed to join us on the Saturday in those playoffs. Really well played, or how did you like it in terms of the drafting?
I would say, well, Obabo, it's always very easy to say, like, oh, the person that won had a favorable draft, right? That's the hindsight drafting is always very easy. But I would say that Obabo definitely had clean drafts. I would say it also did, he was quite helped by despairing or the Antares not moving at all in like the 2 different matches. However, I would say definitely clean played in the end, and we can see some of the replays here at this moment. It was definitely interesting to see for the Hey Gang, like either being banned or just first picked himself. That's definitely, if you really don't like to play against a unit, we have that pre-ban in those matches, and using the pre-ban to that well extent does show that he has played multiple matches of SWC. He knows his way around pre-banning, and that's definitely well played in that position.
Yeah, those kind of like not wanting to play against it reminds me very much of an Oliver in previous seasons as well. If you don't get to use it first, don't let the other person use it as well. Looking forward now, say, into our 3rd matchup of today. We do have a repeat player coming into this matchup. It is going to be Adrey, but this time he's going to be taking on Guts. Both of these guys at the moment, in the past 2 seasons, have played each other 14 times, with Guts at the moment on a 71% win rate. Oh, Glorious versus Tito Golet. Maybe that was somewhere instead. I might have misdone that, or did I? I don't think I did.
I'm not sure. The clean feed also went away from that match, so it was either... I don't know. We're going to see. It's going to be full at random. It actually reminds me of something that I sent you like a few weeks ago that was by a different esports game. And they actually made matches where there was just fully at random. You didn't see any of the 2 names, right? And then as the casters, you were just guessing like, okay, they picked this unit. Who would it be? And everyone in chat was guessing. It would actually be fun to do that here as well. But it does seem that we're going into Glorious against Tito Golet at this moment.
Okay, this is a bit different from what I was expecting. It happened once before only, right, on the stream where I accidentally said the first person as well. But if it is going to be Glorious versus Tito Golet, let's say, it is 2 different type of players. Obviously, these guys are wanting to get those points. There are some units that both of them actually have together as well. So maybe let me just get into it. What do you get when you combine my casting and a certain month of the year? Say, May. Let's see if she gets involved tonight as we're going into our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 3, Set 1 between now, Glorious and Tito Golet. We've got the pre-ban, say, two very strong LDs in Nikki and Tian Lang.
Yeah, definitely the respect bands that we have seen quite a lot. Like the respect bands on the signature units of that player, we see in a lot of those. Glorious still gonna go for a more it's more of a steal. He likes to go more of a Chiwu kind of route on the leaderboards. But I would say in here it's probably better to go for that more. Tito Golet answering with a Oliver. Does he go for like an Asher as a speed kind of comp? Or maybe something along the lines of a Cigar? Would maybe be a little bit too heavy on wind, but let's see what he picks.
Let's see what he picks for these guys. Actually say, oh, wow, really interesting. Over the past 2 seasons, Glorious and Tito Golet have played 8 times. Tito Golet has a 100% win record against Glorious. Is he his bogeyman as he now locks in at Zen?
We have that Ren being locked in.
Ren.
That's definitely also a unit that Glorious likes to use. So definitely, I think that's Glorious will take this match a little bit slower, knowing that he lost the last 8 times. Like that's 100%. Those are good numbers. We're looking in that Sean, does he go back to the Chiwu kind of style, or does he gonna lock anything else? Because if that Ren is super fast, he can't really lock in his comfortable picks. We do go for that Hey Gang, however.
Yeah, just maybe to mention, say, Shan at the moment, currently the 6th highest win rate in terms of the Summoners War European League, with a 63%. So when picked in the right spot, it can do a lot of damage. Tito Golet now also going for usually a very fast monster in the terms of the Wind Robo right there. Is he going to partner up with another fast unit, or does he need something else to kind of really deal that damage after?
Well, it's gonna be depending. You could lock in this speed lead right now, or you could lock in as Obabo did in the last time. Like, go for a speed lead in that last. So does go for another fast unit with that Asher. So definitely something that I would say you kind of need some follow-up on that as well. And Glorious does see that, and therefore goes for 2 Bruiser units in that Vert, in that Douglas. 2 definitely very strong units right there. So probably the Douglas is already a must ban. And Tito Golet has to notice that while picking his 5th unit right here.
It definitely is. He's Douglas, when you see it on the field, how do you respond to it? He's obviously got those 2 wind monsters in the times of Oliver and with Robo. If he's picking an Etna, that has to signal it, right?
Yeah, that's definitely has to be banning it, but I'm not sure if Etna's too great in this position, because you also have to fight that Hey Gang. And I think the same thing about the Lima. If your Robo moves in front, but Robo could easily be banned out. The weird thing about the Lima is Lima somehow kind of counters the Douglas as well, so it becomes more of a difficult ban for Glorious to think like, oh, is he actually going to maybe leave my Douglas in?
Let's see. It's all about the mind games right now. Glorious and Tito Golet. We've found out from the stats he might be his bogeyman, and let's see if he can deal with it. Banning out the Lima, banning out the Hey Gang at the moment there. Say we're going to be taking speed leads in to our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 3, Set 1 between Glorious and Tito Golet. Both these guys in the midfield, but they want to get some good points to get higher in those playoffs. Eshe taking that first time. Is it going to be a good Robo?
It's going to be a Robo, but the interesting thing is that Ren is actually going to move afterwards. However, the big issue is we have that Douglas on the field, and the big question is, can you actually get rid of that Vert and that Douglas? Because it's not just a Douglas, it's a Vert and a Douglas. So every AoE you do, you have to be careful with both the Verts. Ooh, does manage to get an armor break on that Vert, but can you actually manage to kill that with a high damage Asher later? Is that a thing?
Let's see, there's a lot of silences on the side of Glorious as well at the moment, say. It's obviously going to prevent him from using any of the skill 2s or skill 3s with those monsters, but Vertihill doesn't really need it to push up the rest of the team.
Yeah, it doesn't really need it, but I'm really looking at that Asher right now. Asher skill 3 probably goes on that Vertihill. Can you kill it? Does manage to kill a pretty squishy or a very high damage on that Asher itself, but that's taking out one of the 2 difficult units. You still have that Douglas on the field. We did see that Ren was able to land a skill before on it. Is that a high attack Ren that actually may be able to kill a Douglas? That's going to be a difficult one, because now is when the Douglas gets online.
Yeah, once Douglas is online, we've seen it before. We've been speaking before, say, about those units that can do a 1 versus 4. And in this situation right now, it's looking pretty hard for Tito Golet.
Yeah, it definitely looks difficult right now, and it's interesting to say, like, you have 1 against 4, and you say, like, oh, you're probably on a losing position. But let's actually see what the Douglas can do. We have seen some Douglas on leaderboards where it gets disappointing, but the thing is, the moment that the Douglas lands its attack break on the enemy, that enemy is not gonna have that much attack. And how the Douglas work is gets glancing from like how much attack there is a difference between the Douglas and the enemy. So the more attack breaks that you land on the enemy, the more chance there is for this Douglas to actually perform the solo.
Oh, here we go. We're going for that skill 1 in order to get the heal block there. Say we know it's usually built on Vampire. Getting that silence as well, so it can't do any branding skill 2, but Oliver's just going to refresh it, right?
Well, so far it's been 3 hits without glancing. Is this going to be enough damage? It is actually enough damage. So where we expect the solo, the unit was just disappointing, and that is definitely a Douglas as well. Was definitely an angle for Douglas to solo the whole thing, but also Douglas at some point is just like, nope, same as the Antares in the last match. Sometimes he says, nope, not today.
No, not today for Douglas, and Tito Golet taking that 1 point so far against Glorious at the moment. He's going to be having to rethink things right now. Say, I know Tito Golet in the past always says a good drafting phase is you're going to ban out that last unit and just be able to match what's on the field. In this case, he saw the Douglas and thought, I can deal with it and not even need to ban it out. Who are you liking for pre-bans?
I would definitely say that we're going to be looking at pre-bans. Well, it's hard to say. Maybe the Sean? Yeah, Sean is the obvious one. The other one on the pre-ban, Tito Golet likes to play a lot of different things. So you could ban it like a Gianna, but in a lot of matches he doesn't use it, or that Ragdoll, but in a lot of matches he doesn't use that. So banning out that more is definitely an interesting one.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to be taking an Escher. It's also been in his back pocket as first picks as well when he's not had the more available for him. Or will he be looking for a different kind of speed lead to change things up against Glorious, who we know is or can be very fast with the Wouncer, with the Oliver. Let's see who he decides to take. He's going to take that Oliver on the side of Tito Golet there.
So we have the Oliver on that side. Does Glorious go once again back to that Hey Gang? Could go for like the normal standard that he likes with that Chiwu, with the Tianlang, with those kind of units. Tianlang definitely a nice counter into the Oliver. Let's see if Tito this time goes still for a speed comp, because an Escher at this position looks a little bit more uncomfortable. Still goes for speed units, but then in the sense of a Sekhmet.
Yeah, we know how dangerous that skill 3 can be, say, and actually Sekhmet currently sitting on a 64% win rate overall in the Summoners War European League. Partnering it up with the Hey Gang there.
Yeah, with that Hey Gang, it definitely does signal that you're going to be boosting a lot of attack bar, and therefore you're not going to be liking that Tianlang. I definitely do like that Fire Monkey in this position right now, because Glorious can definitely go for a Bruiser setup right now. Actually decides not to go for a Bruiser setup. Decides to go, isn't sure about this draft. I kind of would say that the Fire Monkey route for him looks better. Ooh, okay.
Hey, we saw the same at least, eh?
We do see
the jokes work.
The jokes work. The same is kind of an interesting unit at this position, because I would say I kind of like the Fire Cassandra, but I don't like the Fire Cassandra at all into increased cooltime units. We see 2 on the enemy side already. For that reason, now we see 3 on the enemy side already. For that reason, I don't like the unit that much, and I definitely do favor the draft of Tito Golet here. But maybe Glorious can surprise us with a very solid 5th pick over here.
Let's see, he's locking in potentially the Cigar, and it is going to be the Nikki. Again, very strong units. Taking another snipe unit potential there with a Sonya. Do you like that?
Well, the Sonya does signal that you're 100% banning out that Sekhmet, because the Sekhmet is going to be faster, but now having to lock in a Robo. The big thing is that Tito could do, he just could remove the Chiwu. In that case, he's probably going to outspeed very easily, so let's see if he actually goes for that.
Yeah, but he's got some time now to figure it out. This is, again, where the mind games are coming into our Summoners War European League. You've got to be predicting what the other people are going to be banning against you. And right now, say you've said that Chiwu, deciding against it and going for the Fire Cassandra instead, even though the cool times are still on the field. We're going to be going into this Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 3, Set 2, with the speed lead of Chiwu and the HP lead of Sekhmet. It's Glorious versus Tito Golet. Can Glorious reclaim a point against Tito Golet, say?
Let's see what happens. We do have the Hey Gang pushing up, but we do have the Tianlang taking a turn, stunning 2 units. That's definitely crucial. But right now, we once again have a triple stun from a Hey Gang, and also landing the glancing on the wrong element. For that reason, the Robo is not going to be absorbing too many attack bars, and it's actually going to be taking a lot of damage. We have a Nikki taking a additional turn while having attack buff, pretty much resetting all the HP bars of Tito.
Yeah, he's going now for a round of stuns. Can he get them back? That were reclaimed against him. Obviously, that Sekhmet now has skill 3, say, looking for the skill cool time. Oh, going for the defense breaks instead.
Going for the defense break, but what was more important than a defense break was a heal block, because we have the same on the field. This Robo is actually going to get a lot of its HP back for just taking a turn right now.
Definitely will. He'll be following up very soon after this Chiwu as well, with that second skill still available. He's going into it as well. Doesn't quite get on the Sekhmet.
Yeah, doesn't get quite on the Sekhmet, but we have an additional turn from the Tianlang, doing quite a lot of damage in this position. And we have a reset on that Robo, so Robo still will be close to getting all of those skills in. You probably have to stun it on this Hey Gang right now. Does he go for it, or does he go with Elsa? Does manage to get the stun. However, does the Tianlang move next? No, the Chiwu is enough damage and takes out the Nikki. That is bye-bye to all of the healing that Tito Golet can do. And this is looking more and more favorable for Glorious in this position.
Definitely is. He needs to really start getting the HP bar down on the rest of the units on the field. He's got that third skill, trying to now take out that Chiwu. Can he get so many stuns? Does get a stun to help on his cause.
Definitely the stun does help, but we're still looking at that Tianlang. Tianlang does have a lot of damage output if he can land those armor breaks on those skill ones. We have another revive potentially that you could use right now for increased cooltime. Does land it, does get an additional turn. That also means that this is not going to be a despair one.
No, it isn't. Cigar now does have skill 2 available. Does he land the defense break and gets the provoke? Are you going to be looking for stuns? Gets 2 out of 4.
But look at the Robo's health, it's full. You had 5 debuffs on it, and the same as like, I don't like those 5 debuffs. However, Tito Golet just managed to land all heal blocks on all 4 units, and that part is definitely what Tito Golet is looking for. However, big damage on an armor break, 7.9 Ks per hit, taking out that Cigar.
Sambi doing so much work just by being on the field right now at the moment. So Sekhmet has skill 3 available again, but that Tianlang is healthy, like you said, and the Robo just keeps getting healthier.
Yeah, it's definitely the Tianlang and the Robo supported. Oh, once again, getting double stuns. Additional turn, armor breaks in it. Once again, additional turn. Can get back that Chiwu. Chiwu has nice damage. We have seen it before from Glorious. Probably takes out that unit. Mr. Crit still takes out the unit. And this is going to be the victory for Glorious.
Wow, Glorious managing to reclaim a point then against Tito Golet, taking it to 1 apiece. That's going to do him a world of good on our Summoners War European League leaderboard. Wow, say, you can just see how strong Sambi, I mean, I joked about it before that match, but how strong of a unit it worked in that setup.
Yeah, absolutely. The way to counter her is actually landing those heal blocks. But the thing is, if things take a lot of turns, it's still going to be... Yeah, it's just a 1-turn heal block. It's really easy to get rid of. The thing is, the Tianlang definitely helps it, because normally you would get like a lot of counters, pushbacks, that kind of stuff. With the Tianlang on the field, the Tianlang takes so many turns and he has so much more chance to actually stun the enemy turn and just take their attack bar, stun them, everything. That Sambi becomes more and more stronger with like pretty much every turn that the Tianlang also takes.
Yeah, and you could just see in the end it was too strong from Glorious in that last match against Tito Golet. But Tito Golet, let's not hold anything back. He secured that 1 point in the first set between these two guys, managing to take out a Douglas, which is sometimes a pretty hard feat to do on ladder. But right now he managed to do it here, and then following up Glorious, coming out with that Sambi, just getting healing, and the Robo and Tianlang could really get to work. What a crazy start. First 3 matches in our last league day of our Summoners War European League. So any favorite set, something that stood out for you so far?
Well, I think most of them were pretty interesting. It was cool to see that Angel was trying the route of the Maximilian without the Veronica, because it's definitely something we have seen on ladder. However, it's also something that people kind of got familiar with already. So it's really a very specific comp, but it's cool to see him try that out. And for the other matches, were a lot of fun matches to watch in the first place. I got a lot more coming as well.
Exactly. We've got plenty more coming here in our Summoners War European League. We are going to be going into a 5-minute break, so we'll see you back here very, very soon. Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your 5-minute break. Us guys as well, we were just having a look at everything to do with the Summoners War European League. If you haven't already, make sure you're using the command SWEL or EL in the chat in order to find out all the latest with the leaderboard. It is getting updated after each of the matches, so you can keep an eye on exactly how things are currently standing right now. Now, I kind of mentioned into it before, you can see some of the matches that we've got taking place today. We've already had a 2-1-1s and a 2-0 win there for Obabo. Say it's going to do crazy work for that leaderboard. 2-0 at any point now for any of these players is going to be crucial, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And what's also going to be very interesting is that Pinkroyd, to get back to the level of Obabo, he actually has to win against Hansol. And then also the two players actually duke it out for the first place. So that's definitely going to be a very interesting one, which we do actually see in the standings here as well. We do, however, see that Adrey is not really at a comfortable spot with 8 points right now, and definitely has to win his next 2 to still make a chance of getting in. And I would say Hansol, does he still have a chance to get in?
He can just, depending on the tiebreaks at the moment, he can win 2-0 at the moment, say, but there's still a lot to play for. You've got Rexus still needs to take 2 matches as well. You've got Adrey still with another match as well, which is going to be coming up very, very soon. And if he can get 2 points, he could really jump up a little bit further. And like we said, it's all crucial points right now. So looking forward into it. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Adrey versus Guts is going to be our next matchup. These guys, like I said, have played each other 14 times on ladder over the past 2 seasons, with a current 71% win rate in the favor of Guts. Guts, as we know, plays a lot of different things. What do you think he's cooked up anything special for us?
If we have any of the balance patch units that could be played here today, it would be the man Guts playing them. So if he's gonna lock in a Coco or maybe a buffed Water Jennifer or anything like that, I think Guts would be one of those players to be looking at. But I wouldn't be surprised if we also take one of the 4 stars, like going for an Ava, which is the Light Pirate or something like that. It's actually somewhat of an interesting unit toward like Special League 4-star, but would Guts be actually locking it in here right now? Because it does have a lot of turn cycling. It does have quite a lot of damage, I think, so definitely could be an interesting unit right there. But once again, it's also at the very last moment, do you actually want to try it? Because in the end, you're also trying to lock something in that you're not too familiar with yourself. Of course, you're going to take the enemy off guard, but you might also take yourself off guard in the process.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I was watching a few of his streams actually earlier in the week. Say he was liking the look of Gapsu as well. So I wonder if maybe later we might see that. Let's find out. The only French players finally meet. Baguette's at the ready for a match that might just end for all with C'est la vie. As we go into our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 4, Set 1 between Adrey and Guts the Berserk. Interesting bans coming out in the pre-ban, say.
A Van Cliff ban? I don't think that Guts has ever picked up a Van Cliff. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I do definitely like the Hey Gang ban over there. But let's see what Guts is going to be going for that first pick. A comfortable more. Do we see on the other side a Cigar plus something? Chandra Cigar maybe? Very much we do.
Chandra Cigar, we know Guts really likes to use the Escher as well. You can see at the moment it's locked in his second spot at the moment. Is he going to partner it up with potentially a Smiser there as well?
Yeah, I definitely do like the Smiser. Over the last season, we have seen more and more Smiser being picked up, and it's actually a very strong unit. It has that strip, it has that silence, it has that bomb, it has healing right now. There's just so much going on for the kit of that unit. On the enemy side, we do see a Valid right now. I would say that the Valid is mostly best placed together with a Hey Gang. In this case, that's not possible. So let's see, does they decide to go for a pony? So the Diana in here, I'm not too sure if it's really in a nice pick at this position.
Let's see, because at the moment right now, the Diana actually is the 3rd lowest win rate monster, say, with only 18% win rate so far in the Summoners War European League. Looking there for Guts to partner it up with a Verdihill and going 2 fire units straight into it there with the Meihu Wang.
Yeah, I absolutely like those 2 fire units. Those 2 fire units pretty much signal I'm gonna play against the first 4 units that you see on the field, and I'm just gonna tumble in all of the damage on that Diana, most likely going to be banning out in the Terrace. And Terrace is a fair pick in this position because Guts will be taking a lot of turns, but most of the... I don't think this Terrace is going to be in the match.
Let's see who he's going to be banning out. Now, it is going to be the Smicer. It's going to be the Villager leaving that Antares in the match. So let's see if he can deal enough damage through into him. We've got the speed leads on both of these guys, Adrey and Guts the Berserker. Now, Summoners War, European League Day 7, Match 4, Set 1. Escher taking that first turn, so you're going to boost up the team. Can more get strips and push?
Does get a bunch of strips a bunch of pushes, but not that much. In this case, once again, Antares is not really gonna do anything. Antares does need to take a turn exactly at this position. Is not taking a turn because an addition takes the turn when he is stunned and can't actually do anything with it. If you go for shields right now, does decide not to go for shields, does decide to go for damage, then you also have to land very well on that Cigar. Takes an additional turn, but at the wrong moment, so Pony can't go for cycling, doesn't get the stun. Cigar, all eyes on you right now. You have to push back everything, or else the Antares is not going to do too much. Pushes back most of the stuff, and gets the provokes. Gets all of the provokes in the end.
All of those provokes are going to help to try and let Antares take a turn. Chandra defending him as well, so it's going to be a bit more protection. Can he get stuns? He gets the stun against the Vertihill.
That is the most crucial stun that he could get out there right now. Also, the Antares is being protected right now by the Chandra, so that's definitely looking very nice. And take the additional turn, finally gets the skill 2 in, gets a lot of healing in from that skill 2, does so much damage, and suddenly it's looking very favorable for Adrey, where he almost lost his Antares just before that.
It's a really nice combination at the moment there, say, with the Chandra. It means that he can keep defending that Antares when it's on the field and taking turns, and when he does take a turn to lose the defend, he can just deal damage.
Yeah, there's so much damage going in. Also, the Antares going for a 3-hit rather than a 2-hit. The Diana's not doing all too much on this field. It's all about the other 3 units. But the question is, we have seen Fire Monkeys do a lot of stuff as well. But once again, we can keep cycling on that defense. The big question is, do you go for the defense right now on the Pony? I don't think you should. You should do it once again on that Antares, because the moment, yeah, Diana's not gonna do too much into the Monkey, but the Monkey can do a lot of stuff into that Antares in this position. If it goes for skill 2, additional turns, no, just simply kills in skill 2. That is not too great. You probably have to go for shields right now, because killing the Moor is not an instinct. Wait, are you going to do it? Are you actually gonna go on the Monkey right now? It is definitely an option. Goes for the Monkey. He doesn't manage to kill it. We need to have a reset right now. Well, it's definitely a high risk.
Let's go. And it's going to be enough, I think, Say.
It's not enough, but Guts needed an additional turn right there to keep in the match, and he didn't get that, so that is the victory for Adrey still.
Adrey managing to take a point there against Guts the Berserk. The battle of the Frenchies right there, Say. Antares could manage to just stay on the field the amount of time that he needed to in getting that protect from the Chandra. I really like that combination.
Yeah, absolutely a very strong combination, especially when there's not too much strip on the enemy side. There was the Moor, there was the Asher, but the moment that those kind of units are already dealt with, that is very hard to actually get like a proper strip in on that defense, and while doing that, you also potentially get stunned by the Chandra yourself. So definitely an interesting combination right there.
Yeah, definitely very interesting right now. Actually, let's just see. Yeah, we've just skipped forward a little bit. We've got the pre-bans coming in there. It is the Hey Gang and it is the Morsey.
Yeah, definitely to respect pre-bans of units they just don't like to play against. In this position, probably Adrey goes back for a Chandra or a Cigar. If he picks one, probably the other one will end up at the other side as well.
Let's find out. It is going to be that Escher as well. He likes using that unit. He's partnered it with a Cigar. Oh, another steal potentially of the Smiser right now. Is it the Battle of the Steels?
It's quite a lot of steals so far. It is definitely the Battle of the Steels. We go back to the Vertihill on that side. Are we going to see like a Valaju on the side of Guts right now? That's definitely... Or is Guts going to do the same thing with an Antares?
I mean, that would take some big balls if you're going to do that. But Guts might be the guy to do it. He's putting in that Mayhu Wang right there, partnering it with a Velajul.
So definitely still the options of the steal. So if Adrey goes something that is countered by Antares right now, Guts is probably going to be looking at that Antares, but does decide to lock in a water unit with the Praha. Goes a little bit of strips, a little bit of cycling, quite a bit of healing. Let's see what he pairs it up with as the final unit, because it's definitely going to be a bruiser fight, so another bruiser unit would fit in here. You were talking about Gapso earlier. I would actually like a Gapso here in that final position.
Let's see, he's got the Praha. Who's he going to lock in that last pick? It's going to take a little bit of time unless you can see it, Say, in front of me.
We do see a Diana right now, so definitely, once again, back to that Diana. We do see a Fire Cassandra, in this case a Frederic on the side of Guts. I do think that these two gentlemen think that it's still the Special League rule where they can't use any LD5. Oh, wait. we have Asher on the field. My bad. It's also an LD unit. But locking in that Robo, so that's definitely signaling something along the lines of we don't want to play into that Vert, and we don't want to play against that Robo as well. Let's see how the two gentlemen duke it out.
Let's go into our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 4, Set 2 between Adrey and Guts the Berserk. Guts the Berserk, can he reclaim a point against Adrey? Escher will be taking that first turn, but it's a fast Praha.
Yeah, definitely a fast Praha. It did have the speed lead, but in this case, it's also probably being reset. It's reset and it has a provoke, so everything did land. In this case, you can go for an armor break as well, so that's definitely a nice setup for Escher for later.
Let's see. Diana has shields available with that second skill. Is she just going to look to protect a little bit longer against the side of Guts the Berserk? Going for that stun on the Cigar.
Definitely a very nice stun, but we also have that Valajul moving in next, so that definitely will protect that the Asher can properly go for the skill 3 later, if the Smiser does not say something about that.
Let's see, Smiser, can she get those strip into the silences? Say, oh, resisted against the Escher.
Was resisted on the silence, but did actually manage to strip the right thing. Can land the bomb right now. We do have still 2 units on a defense break right now, and we have 2 fire units coming up from Guts, probably doing a lot of damage very soon.
Let's see right now, Mei Huang coming in, skill 1 available. Oh, gets the stun, but wow, a lot happened.
Yeah, not enough damage going in there just yet, but the Diana is still going to be stunned. Additional turn from that Valajul, taking out the Diana. Good 14k damage over there. And now we're going to be looking at like, okay, how fast can this Praha get online, and can that maybe do something? But we have a Fire Monkey on the other side, and that's definitely a very dangerous unit, especially if it also has an armor break on your Praha.
Yeah, and now Cigar following up with skill 3, does get the cool time and full provokes as well.
Full provokes, we have Asher rocking in 4.6k. That's such a high damage Asher. Full on crit rate, so much damage going in. Can once again go in. Massacre in this case, 2.6k. Very nice damage going in there on that Smiser.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it seems like Guts of Berserk is going to be able to reclaim a point against Adrey, say.
Yeah, absolutely. I just see more and more damage tumbling in, and Chandra is definitely a unit that's very strong paired next to a whole bunch of other units, but as a solo potential, it's absolutely not one of those.
No, definitely not right now. Monkey slowly will just be chipping away as well of the Escher. Kind of all the units on the side of Guts the Berserk, just making sure of that win to get him that 1 point. You can see on the left side, he's currently sat on 9 points. He will now be sat on 10. Maybe he's going to get over into those qualification spots. As you can see, the confirmation. Adrey won, Guts the Berserk won. Guts the Berserk changing things up in that second set there, saying it really proved beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would definitely say the Fire Monkey, it's really one of those units, if you have the good rune quality on those, the moment that is longer and longer in the match, it's just so hard to deal with. It hits so hard, it gets so many turns, it has the cycling, it has the armor break, it has stun potential. There's just so much going on for that unit, and that definitely helped him to get that victory over here.
Yeah, it's had a crazy good amount of win rate, actually. Say, we were mentioning it even back in League Day 2, League Day 3. The Monkey was showing that monkey business, and we love monkey business, right, Say?
Yeah, absolutely. The Monkey is doing some crazy work, and it's actually interesting to see throughout balance patches. At some point, the wind one is picked up a lot, the water one is picked up a lot. In this position, it's the fire one that's picked up a lot, and it's definitely doing crazy amounts of work. It's always one of those units that if you draft a certain way, even if you have a lot of water units that are more support or like a more or something like that, often they still lose a 1v1 against the Fire Monkey. So you also always have to keep in mind, if I lock this in right now, is there a Fire Monkey gonna be there? And do my actual water units actually counter the Fire Monkey? Because Fire Monkey has, especially on that 100 crit rate, a lot of odds to actually win against water units as well.
Yeah, a lot of damage potential. We're now going to be looking at our next match. It is Hansol versus Pink Roid. We say it a lot, but these guys have some crazy muscle memory. Let's see if they can remember to win in this Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 5, Set 1 between Hansol and Pink Roid. We've got the LD pre-bans coming out, say it is the Tian Lang and the Yonghon.
Yeah, definitely the two respect pre-bans that they don't like to play against one another. However, there's still a lot of LDs still possible. We still have the Light Monkey, we still have the Han, we still have a lot of those units being possible in there. But first, we're drafting that Heigang first pick and the Chandra on the other side. Is it going to be paired still with a Vanessa that he mostly likes, or maybe just the Chandra? Let's see what he likes to lock that in with. It's going to be the Chandra.
It is, and to mention as well, guys, Hansol really needs to get a 2-0 win here to try and get into those qualification spots for the playoffs. He's probably got one of the toughest opponents that he could have asked for, and especially right now with Pink Roid looking to potentially secure that Etna. Is he also going to go for a favored pick of a Morse, or how do you like his odds?
I would say that a Moor pick mostly fits if you're placed in the first position, and later down the line it's most likely not going to be placed, but definitely liking that Tomoe. It might actually that Pink Roid is going to be placing towards the Tomoe, Layla, and then maybe even a Water Jennifer later. However, Hansol does not like to play against that and locks in two very strong LD immunity units to prevent all of that.
Yeah, he definitely came in with the Pata and the Eleanor. Wow, it's Eleanor, I mean, wow. I mean, that's an answer of saying, whatever you think you've got cooking, Pink Roid, I've got an answer, and I'm going to show my hand maybe a little bit too early against a Mei Huang and a Feng Yan.
Definitely two very strong units if he locks those in. Definitely units that have a lot of bruiser potential, where Hansol does not show too much damage yet and has probably issues with taking out either or even both of the units on that side. So I would definitely say that Pink Roid is looking at a draft where he's going to be banning that last pick. Rika, definitely an interesting one, because Rika definitely does already signal, I'm gonna be banning out that Hey Gang. That does leave the two bruises that were picked on the last side of Pink Roid on the field, and that's going to be a difficult match, I think.
Let's see exactly who they're going to ban right now. Like I said, Hansol really needs to secure these 2 points. It's going to be Rika banned out. It's going to be the Meihu Wang. We're taking speed leads into this match. It's our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 5, Set 1 between Hansol and Pink Roid. This is crucial to get those points right now. Say Etna taking that first turn.
Can cleanly go for that Shatter. Shatter following in into a skill 3. Where are you going to land it? Going to land it on the Patar. Also can instantly go for the skill 3, but did take a good chunk of that health right there at the moment. Decides to go for just a little bit of damage, and decides to not do too much with that turn just yet.
Deciding to spread right there from Tomoe. Interesting. Cigar now has all skills available. Skill 3, is he going to look to insert a cool time on any of those units, say maybe into the Feng Yan, knowing that it could be coming soon? Oh, resisted.
Resisted, but also glanced, so did not land anything across the battlefield pretty much, so definitely not what he was looking for. Plus his units that can provide immunity are currently stunned, so that's definitely not beneficial for Hansol right now. He probably needs an additional turn, or very good stuns. Did manage to get a lot of stuns at that moment.
Wow, stuns exactly when he needed, but defense breaks have been landed on the side of the field of Hansol right now. He needs to get online in order to get some cleansing going on. So he's got the opportunity.
He has the opportunity, and that's definitely the opportunity that we was looking for. There's not too much damage on the side of Hansol, however, that Etna is pretty squishy, so it's definitely an option to take out pretty soon. However, does not manage to take it out, and we have another skill 3 coming in. Can potentially take out that Vader on that right side if he wants to.
Going for it, and does get through the defend from the Chandra there. Say the Unicorn is going to transform right now. We're going to get that anti-crit. We're going to get some healing.
Yeah, we're going to get some healing and some anti-crit, but we know Feng Yang. Feng Yang doesn't really care about anti-crit. Feng Yang does not need to crit to actually deal a lot of damage that he does. So Feng Yang is going to be a very dangerous unit, and is probably going to be looking at stunning it right now.
Oh, doesn't get it on that one, but does get a nice and additional turn right now. Is he going to be looking to maybe cleanse that suppression to allow Cigar to get online?
Yeah, a little bit more of cleanses definitely does help, but we also have Calm Mind. It boosts up a little bit of attack bar, and also makes the Feng Yang not that chill to hit at this moment.
No, it doesn't. Getting the stun from Heigang right there. But Chandra is going to keep defending him along the way. Say, what's the winning factor right now for Hansol?
I would say the winning factor for Hansol is definitely trying to get rid of the buffs on that Panda, but also stunning it. But it's been looking like that this Panda might be 100 resistance. And if the Panda has 100 resistance, it's very hard to stun with that light pony right there.
Definitely is, but Chandra is trying to do some work on stunning some of the other units on the field right now. Getting up some more cleansing, getting rid of that defense break, so it's going to take a bit longer. Some of them go.
Ooh, some of them go, but also a very good stun over there. In this case, we do get the pushback. However, pushback is instantly cleansed as well. In this case, you probably have to be looking at, can you actually stun that Feng Yang? Because if Feng Yang takes more turns, still no stun on it, the Feng Yang is taking a lot of damage.
Definitely is right now. Cigar has opportunities for a defense break and gets the provoke there as well. Looking to defend on that Cigar, say, but Feng Yan's coming soon.
Feng Yang is coming soon, but I also do notice one thing. I see life drain the moment that Feng Yang is hitting. Is this Feng Yang on Vampire? If so, I don't really see too much potential for Hansol to come back in this moment.
No, because every time Feng Yan takes that turn, he's gonna manage to get himself healthy again. Against the Unicorn.
Yeah, against the Unicorn, that's definitely not gonna happen. And that was definitely a very well drafted, probably 100 resistance, Vampire, maybe Revenge, Feng Yang, and that definitely did work out very well. It's definitely a very strong unit to get rid of. And we have seen it in the past, or I've said it in the past with Pink Roid. Pink Roid has a lot of units ruined up, and he's just gonna lock in that one specific unit once in like 1,000 matches, and it's gonna give him the pretty much insta guaranteed win. This Feng Yang was pretty much one of those 1 in 1,000 that just worked out perfectly.
Exactly, and Pink Roid right now, if he can secure an extra point as well, it's going to mean that match coming later on, say, between Pink Roid and Obabo for the top spot is going to become crazy. Right now, we've got a pre-ban there of an Antares and a Han from the side of Pink Roid and Hansol.
Definitely an interesting Antares pre-ban. I definitely do know that Pink Roid, every potential that he sees to lock in a Antares, he will lock in an Antares. Or Hansol is kind of saying right now, like, okay, I probably can't qualify anymore right now. Maybe that is his option. Or he's just completely gonna switch it up, just completely take the enemy off guard, but let's see how that works. He's definitely drafting a lot of LDs.
Definitely different right now. We've got the Adrey, we've got the Eleanor, we've got the Ragdoll, Chandra and Cigar on the side of Pink Roid. Maybe locking in there a Bulwark, signaling, okay, I'm going to keep it. We're bringing Mo along for a snipe out as well.
Yeah, definitely something that if you give Pink Roid the option to Bulwark Molong, he will take that option to Bulwark Molong. We have a Salah on the side of Hansol. He's probably going to be looking at another very colorful unit. That is, in this case, a Narsha. Definitely an interesting unit right there, but I definitely do think that Pink Roid can come up with a very strong 5th pick and probably take that whole field. Because you can simply do Gapso, interesting one. But you could go for like something along the lines of a recap, ban out the immunity, and you would have been done as well.
Let's see right now, banning out that Bulwark, banning out the Narsha from the side of Pink Roid. We've got speed lead, then the defense light lead of 50% from that Adrey. Getting into our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 5, Set 2 between Hansol and Pink Roid. Pink Roid, if he can claim this Wednesday, will join Obabo at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, let's see what this Salah can do. It is a random targeting for some of his skills. Actually managed to get like a perfect rotation in there. Gets the silence, gets the stun.
Yeah, he managed to get everything. Cigar trading a provoke there right now. Chandra can look to defend and maybe go for his skill 3. Will he get some stuns out?
Yeah, the big question is also, Molong is not really in a comfortable spot right now to go for any of the snipes. So, and Adrey is one of those underrated units that actually does do a lot more damage than people expect. However, if you go for heals right now, you will pretty much give Gapso a turn. So maybe decides not to go for it.
No, Molong now has all skills available. He hasn't taken that turn yet. Is he going to be looking for some strips there? Say the damage isn't going to be able to kill anything at this moment in time.
Ooh, still goes for a Reckless Assault on arguably the one with the lowest HP out there. But in this case, let's see how much damage we can do. It's not too much damage. We need that armor break first that the unit also provides to actually do the proper damage. But we have healing coming in from the Gapso pretty soon.
Definitely right now. You can see that the Salah tried to put the heal block, got it on that Cigar, but Gapso coming in right now. Resisted against him though.
Resisted, but also getting an additional turn while also being resisted on the armor break on himself. If that armor break actually stuck, it would have been a good option for Hansol to actually take some of the match into his favor.
Yeah, let's see right now. Cigar, there's immunity on the side of the field. Couldn't get us through with that first skill. First skill just trying to deal some damage into Salah then right now.
Yeah, trying to deal some damage. It's also pretty interesting to see a Ragdoll into a team that pretty much doesn't crit at all. That's definitely not a favorable Ragdoll draft, but for me, all eyes are on that Adrey. If Adrey can actually get some good damage off, it can deal a lot.
Seems like Pink Roid now is targeting all of that damage into the Salah, but managing to get some provokes along the way.
Getting quite some provokes on the way. However, it doesn't really land the strip that he was looking for into the reset. So he's getting some things going for him, but also a few things not that much.
No, and right now he's also targeting Hansol. He's targeting that Cigar. Like you said, the gaps on the field is getting the health back, so it's not looking... Oh, that heal block.
Yeah, that heal block is definitely helpful, but the Gapso is also kind of like a Raccoon. It just cleanses that off. On the other side, the healing is not too much. We have Adrey with a little bit of heal, finally getting that armor break in there, and we're gonna get a Ragdoll moving pretty soon. Is that Ragdoll? I think it does have Torrent right now. Ooh, a little bit of healing and also removing that armor break.
Oh. No, Ragdoll now is going to be able to follow up. Does use the Torrent skill on the Cigar. He's just chipping it away right now, say.
Yeah, it's quite chipping it away still over there. We have the Slug going in with the skills. In this case, does not manage to get the stun. Once again, we go for some healing, but that healing is a lot of attack bar for the Gapso, which goes in with more and more healing as well.
Exactly, he's just chipping it away now. It kind of seems like who can chip furthest down between that Cigar and the Salah, and Salah just about survives.
Just about survives, but actually dies too, going for a random hit himself. And in this case, can the Adrey kill? Adrey cannot kill yet, and we have, once again, Gapso coming in with more healing.
Yeah, managing to get the stun on the Adrey as well right now, so that defend won't be able to get any revenges with the defense break right now, say. But immunity on the side of Hansol.
Yeah, we do have a lot of immunity still going on. I definitely do think that the Ragdoll will be able to take that out. The interesting thing is Ragdoll is fighting against 3 units that have scaling by max HP. The only unit that's actually, or the 2 units that are very strong based on that is a unit based on defense, which we see on the bottom left at Adrey, and at Ragdoll. So the longer the fight goes on, the stronger the units on the side of Hansol, and actually the weaker the side of Pink Roid gets.
Yeah, and so Pink Roid right now is going to be wanting to try and speed things up to get rid of more units off the field, getting that Molong in range in order to use that skill 3.
Ouch, there's so many stuns on the side of Hansol right now that he does need to get that immunity back up, to get all of those cleanses back up, and he does need that RE to be back up. We take out the immunity provider right now, so that's definitely a lot less favorable for Hansol in this position.
Oh, and stripping that immunity as well right now. Can you get a stun? Big stun on the Ragdoll as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuns going on, a lot of additional turns on the side of Pink Roid, and he's one by one taking out those units. Adrey is definitely one of those strong units that can do a lot of damage, but she does need that opening with an armor break, and the Gobson was very well preventing that from ever happening.
Yeah, now he's just going to be chipping it away down on that Adrey. As Obabo now, Pink Roid now has claimed 2 points against Hansol. It's going to put him on the top of the leaderboard with Obabo, and that's a match that's coming up later this evening. As you can see the confirmation, 2-0 to Pink Roid against Hansol. Massive congratulations. Both of these guys are going to be mixed feelings right now. Say Hansol didn't quite have enough to get extra points to get him up into those qualification spots. But Pink Roid, watching what Obabo was doing earlier, I'm going to take 2-0 for myself as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that probably also, I think, guarantees that Obabo and Pink Roid are going to be number 1 and number 2, right?
Oh, you've put me on the spot right now. I have to have a little bit of time to work out the exact maths right now. For all of you joining us in the chat, make sure you're using command SWEL or EL in order to find out the current standings of the leaderboard. And maybe you can let us know as well right now. But if those two are at the top, say, still all it for you want to go into those playoffs with confidence, right? I'm number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always better to go for that number 1 spot, because in the end, the number 1 spot, from what we've heard, also has the choice of who gets first and second pick. So we do have that going. If those two gentlemen would play 1-1, it's going to be a coin toss for that first pick. So definitely always one of those things that you still want to play for, because we have seen it time and time again, like especially if you're one of the players, like the coin flip you don't see too much on normally, but if you're a player, you definitely do notice it. But we're also going into our next match right away.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Nobody wants to be another face in the crowd, stand out and be a max in a million for these guys, as they both have that unit. Let's get into our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 6, Set 1 between Sambi, Sepp and Paxic. Pre-bans, who are you liking?
I definitely would say, once again, LDs. And yes, sir, we see LDs on the pre-ban.
Yeah, we do. We get the Tian Lang there. We get the Neftis. We know how strong that combination on the side of Sambi Sepp can be, say, with the Ziana, with the rest of the units that he's got in his box right now. First pick right now from Paxic, maybe a Vanette, taking a Haygang.
Taking a Haygang. We have seen a lot more Haygang first picks this week than we have seen in previous weeks. However, I do know that Sambi Sepp, with that more, that is most likely on Swift, with that Asher, probably does not care too much about a Haygang. So let's see if Paxic is going along the lines of a turn 2, because he normally likes to play turn 2. But I definitely do think that Sambi Sepp is one of those players saying like, okay, you take turn 2, because I know very well how to play against them.
Let's see right now, Paxic has that Cigar. He's gone with the Velajuel. We know how that combination has been so far, say, with the Haygang and the Velajuel skill 3 to allow more attack bar boosting. Will Sambi Sepp follow it up now with some of his LD units?
Well, the interesting thing about that Velajuel is that Velajuel could be a Nemtech, so that could be on very low HP, double Nemesis will to actually boost up the attack bar of the Velajuel to overtake the turn after a more moving, because we currently see a lot of Velajuels being picked right now. Nemtech is not that common, but we have Sambi Sepp going with his comfortable pick with that Robo, with that Siana on the other side. We have that Kavachi being locked in, so Paxic is definitely going to be going for that turn 2. So a Nemtrap would definitely favor him very well.
Let's see, partnering up with a Juno there as well. Maximilian, max in a million. Let's find out exactly how it's going to go as we get into this right now. Who do you like for bans, say?
Ooh, the bans are pretty difficult. I would say the ban on the Juno definitely looks pretty strong, but the ban on the Haygang is always good, and we have a ban on that Robo. So definitely we're going to be looking at, is that Velajuel a Nemtrap or not?
Let's find out, as it's likely we're going to take the speed lead from, this time, the Maximilian. We've got the defense lead on the side for Cigar for Paxic. It's our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 6, Set 1 between Sambi Sepp and Paxic. These guys want to get the points, jump up that leaderboard. Escher taking that first turn. I think it was a Swift More, say.
Yeah, it's definitely a Swift More, so let's see how much damage. There was no increase, but there was also not too many strips. So we have a lot of units still being able to get their skills off. So in this position, would you go for skill 2 rather than a skill 3 to take out a Juno potentially? I think you can take out Juno on skill 2. Oh, was trying to get out units on skill 3. Did not fully manage to get it though.
Yeah, now Kavachi can come in. She can put that attack buff. She can put the immunity, and Juno taking a turn hopefully soon if Cigar can push back, right?
Yeah, Cigar definitely has to be looking at full pushbacks. Does not manage to get full pushbacks, but the only one that was not pushed back was the Morse, and that's the only one that doesn't really matter.
It doesn't right now, and Velajuel's going to be coming up very soon. Kavachi has that skill 2 available, using the first skill just to get some more healing through there.
Yeah, definitely one of those things of like, okay, skill 3, is it gonna do enough damage on that Siana or not? In this case, it was just not enough because the units of Paxic knows how to play that turn 2. He knows how to rune his units a little bit slower, a lot more tanky, and for that reason, it was definitely hard to kill. And this is a match that Paxic is definitely going to be taking over, because in this position, it's going to be very hard for Sambi to come back.
Yeah, he kind of put everything on the line for that first turn there. Say maybe it was a bit too greedy from Sambi with the skill choice that you were saying right now, because it is going to be an uphill battle for him to take out 4 very healthy units.
Yeah, definitely very healthy unit. So he's going to be looking at trying to get an opener for that Siana to get a skill 2 in, but most likely it's going to be off the beast right now, so it's going to be doing a lot less damage, plus doesn't have the chance for an armor break.
And that more again, being resisted, not being able to strip anything right now. Once he's taking out this Siana off the field, say, it's all downhill, right?
Yeah, it's definitely downhill. I would say it's definitely one of those days where Mort just doesn't really want to do the thing. It is not the most consistent stripper out there. If it does, it's very good. If it does not, it's looking like a match like this.
Exactly. I mean, when it works for you, it's perfect. When it doesn't, it doesn't. And right now, Kavachi has skill 3 available, gets some more immunity, allows Cigar to get those defense breaks and provokes.
Provokes defense breaks, more damage, more defense breaks. Definitely some good damage from the Velaju coming in, and that's a 1 against 3 for that Moor that's left on the field. It is a Swift Moor. It was a Fire Moor. You could maybe go for like a lot of cycling from that passive back and forth. But if you have a Cigar locking you in with an S2 into an S3, it's probably done for that.
Is the skill 1 enough? Not quite yet, but it will be following up very soon from the Cigars. Paxic takes that first point against Sambi Sepp there, say. Sambi Sepp kind of had the setup in that match, but it just couldn't quite follow through. Do you think he realizes that now going into the second set and can maybe play something similar, or do you think he has to change things up?
I would say that Sambi Sepp probably likes to replay that exact match like 10 times in a row and then see the outcome of that, because I think he would win most of them, because if the moment that the Moor actually lands, he's probably winning that match.
Yeah, well, Moore didn't quite manage it in that time. We've got the pre-bans coming in at the moment, so it is going to be the Cigar and it is going to be the Siana. Is Sambi Sepp going to take that Moore in the first pick, or do you think he's done with it?
I think he probably likes to lock in that Moor, because he's not too much of... If you have a Tian Lang and he has the Tian Lang potentially, he can always lock it in if Paxic goes for a Hey Gang early. However, Paxic also has a Tian Lang, so he could actually lock down both if he wants to, but I'm not too sure if it's too much of the playstyle of Paxic.
Yeah, let's see. Paxic's changing things up. He's got that Vanessa right now. We know he's got the back picks of Julian, the Kavachi that he's been liking as well, with the immunity and the attack buffs as well.
Yeah, definitely 2 comfortable picks, and it's definitely picks that you say like, okay, he could still pick pretty much everything afterwards. So Sambi Sepp just likes to go for, okay, my comfortable picks. The Tian Lang in there, the Neftis in there, and then he can go from follow-up after it.
Yeah, but he's locked those in, and now Paxic's deciding to answer with another one of the puppeteers. It is going to be Smiser on the side of Paxic, say.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those comps where you say like, okay, once again, the enemy has full turn 2. I'll just survive turn 1, and then we'll see how the match goes. The biggest turn 2 denier from Sambi Sepp is actually banned right now. It is that Siana. So Sambi Sepp has to be looking at like, okay, what kind of follow-up does he have after that? A Juno follow-up is not that strong because it's not gonna kill anything. A Federica one is kind of interesting, but it could be silenced as well. So it's definitely one of those picks that you're like, okay, it could work, but into Smiser is still kind of tricky.
Yeah, let's find out how Paxic is going to work that as well now. He's taking the Camilla with him, so he is saying, come and hit me, and let's see how I can deal with it and get into that second turn. Camilla is banned out. Federica has been banned out. We're taking speed leads into this matchup. It's our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 6, Set 2, between Sambi Sepp and Paxic. Sambi Sepp wants to get at least another point on that board in order to secure his way into the playoff positions. Kavachi coming in now, skill 3 available.
Once again, the Moor was not being able to strip and push back, but in this case, he needed the strip and the pushback because the Kavachi was very fast. We do get an additional turn from the Tian Lang. Also didn't manage to strip too much. We have a Julian attack buff. We have seen these things hit an insane amount, double 11Ks at the start of the match. That is so much damage going in right there.
Tian Lang is already down to half HP there, say. That's a crazy amount. We're going for the second skill, getting the stun, but Julian doesn't care about that. The silence, though.
The silence. Neftis is normally one of those units that lands a lot of silence. However, on the other side is also a unit that lands the silence right now. In this position, you can also not just land the silence on the Vanessa and then go for a kill later. Because, yeah, that Julian, it is going to take turns pretty soon.
Definitely is, and if he gets boosted up by the skill 2 of Kavachi, he can go again. 17k hits!
double 17, even close to 18k. That's doing so much damage. I don't think that a Juno or any of those units can survive that any longer if the Julian takes like 2 more turns.
Let's see, there is a bomb on that Tian Lang, so it's probably going to be falling soon if that Smiser is built on enough attack. Juno right now trying to get rid of the Smiser. What about skill 1? How many damage are we getting there?
Not too much damage on the skill 1, it's just a little bit over there, but the thing is you have the 2 Puppeteers with skill 1 healing, so there's still a lot of healing on the side of Paxic, whereas the only heal on the side of Sambi Sep is going to be the Juno. Sure, the Juno can heal a little bit from if there is a silence happening to be landing on the Juno, but it's not really something you can predict and work around with that much.
No, and he is silenced right now at the moment, more so can put an attack here, but this Julian, that additional turn could do so much damage, say.
Yeah, there's just so much damage coming out of that Julian. It's doing double 9Ks for nothing. No setup, no nothing. No attack buff, nothing. So that's definitely not something that this Juno can survive for much longer.
No, is he going to look to boost up that Julian again to get more skill? No, going for a bit of healing there. Is the Smiser going to survive a skill 1? Oh, changing it up, going for Kavachi.
Going for Kavachi, I definitely do think that Sambi Sep is kind of spreading out the damage, but this Julian is just taking a lot of additional turns. And yeah, I'm not too sure. We have that finesse on the field. No matter how much you spread out the damage, it's just going to be very difficult to get rid of any of those units.
Yeah, you've got all skills available. Just going for that skill 1, getting more healing. Is he going to look to go for skill 2 already? It is into the Juno. It's enough to take out that Juno as well. Say, Pafix taking a 2-0 win against Sambi Sep in our Summoners War European League. Say, why doesn't my Julian do that much damage?
It's something called with having runes. No, having good runes. These guys have insane runes. I'm pretty sure that Paxic probably has one of the best Julians out there. And yeah, that helps. But also, Vanessa in front of it, a Kavachi in front of it, like the whole everything. I'm pretty sure if you get an armor break plus an attack buff, it's hitting 30k, man. It's one-shooting everything.
Oh my god. I mean, we could see there as well, say for Sambi Sep right there. We've been saying it a lot in the Summoners War European League. Confirm your kills, right? And maybe that was the downfall in that first set against Pafix, which kind of ended up being the reason why he lost there. We need to say it again to the guys. If they're watching, take those kills, right?
Yeah, absolutely take those skills. But also for the second draft, I want to emphasize like that Juno. If you go full on a turn 1 kind of comp and you're like, okay, from my turn 1, I can take it over from there. You need to go full for it. Like in that last position, if there was a Robo would have done a lot more than a Juno. In this case, the Juno, yeah, cool, it was all surviving and stuff. But in the end, it couldn't kill anything. It couldn't CC anything. It could strip a little bit. But there would have been a lot of other units that would have probably been a lot faster, like a Wind Robo, like the Dark Robo. All of those units would have probably done a lot more rather than a Juno in that position if you played that turn 1.
I mean, we have the blessing of having a bit of hindsight right now. Say we're not the ones in the positions. You've been there before. Things change. You get maybe caught in the moment. Go back to that muscle memory to make sure you're thinking, right, what are the units that I can usually rely on? But in terms of that, we'll see you guys in 5 minutes as we take a short little break, but we'll be back with plenty more matches. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Summoners War European League. I hope you enjoyed your little 5-minute break from all of the action that's been happening so far today. We've had plenty of matches already, and we've got even more to come, and it's going to get even more thrilling and exciting in this Summoners War European League, as we're going to be soon finding out exactly how those leaderboards are standing up and find out who has made their way all the way through to the qualification places for the playoffs next week. Now, we've had some crazy matches already. We're going to have a quick look as well over the current schedule in the matches that are still yet to come and the previous matches. No, we're not. We're going to jump straight into it instead. Why not? We've got Angel and Guts on the screen. Let's find out for these guys exactly how they're going to get into this. Can Angel look to mend some broken souls this evening? Fixing the Guts might be a step too far as we get into our Summoners War League Day 7, Match 7, Set 1 between Angel and Guts the Berserk. These guys have faced each other 2 times on ladder over the past 2 seasons, so not a lot, but Angel, 100% win record against Guts with the pre-bans of Heygang and a Veronica.
Yeah, let's see with that Veronica outfield. Is Angel going to be trying to play that Maximilian with Chunk Pong, CP, Water Ezio, and Kabili, like the whole thing once again? Or is he actually going to try it up once again that we've seen in previous matches of him in SWEL as well? Guts picking up the Chandra. Let's see what Angel likes to play against that.
Yeah, he's got the Veronica. Well, he had the Veronica. He doesn't have it for this match right now. And we know that partnership that he has, say, with the Maximilian and the Veronica. But deciding for the Maximilian with the Chung Pung, but Guts instantly with that Escher and Cigar.
Ooh, I definitely like the switch up with the Fire Monkey and the Raccoon as well. It's the first Raccoon we have seen today, but it's a very well-placed Raccoon. So in this case, Guts has to be looking at bruiser units that can actually deal enough with those units. There's only one strip on the side of Angel right now, and a Maximilian without 2 AoE strippers is not that great of a unit. So Angel definitely has to be looking at probably locking in another stripper, and if Guts can prevent that, that's definitely a very nice way. I definitely do like the Marsha, which is always a guaranteed uptime of that immunity. Actually takes it away, goes for a bra, goes some strip for himself, and then locking in with that Valaju as well.
Yeah, only the French players actually have been locking in Praha, say, in this Summoners War European League. It has been Guts and it has been Adrey. We saw previously that Adrey's was very fast. Maybe Guts has been working with him. Oh! We've got a Chakra.
Yeah, we got a Chakra, that's correct. So Chakra is kind of a similar unit like a Myos, but then different element and actually does quite a bit less damage. We haven't seen too much of that on ladder, and this is definitely a first time showcase in the SWEL. But the big question is it actually gonna make it on the field right now?
Let's see, Guts is deciding. He's got some time to think about it. He is going to see the field as Velajul and Maximilian have been taken off in the bans. We've got the defense lead from Mei Huang. We've got the speed lead from Chandra as we're going into our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 7, Set 1 between Angel and Guts the Berserk. Is it a Chakra showcase?
It could very well be. It is at least paired with also a speed buffer as in that Raccoon. But the big question is he actually going to be able to take some turns? Because we got a Cigar saying like, we don't like you taking that many turns.
But he does get no pushbacks there on the Raccoon. We're going to get some slows out, but can he get online that Chakra soon enough?
The first skill not doing as much as that we are used to from a Miles. Miles would definitely do quite a bit more damage, but he's also taking quite a bit of damage over here. So would this actually be a showcase of the Monkey rather than the Chakra?
And maybe as Praha has that third skill available, can look to heal. Can she get some sleeps on the other side of the field? Does get 2.
Definitely a good amount of sleeps on that side. There's still that Chunk Pong that's also being, well, stunned right now. It was provoked before, now it's stunned, so it's the double up. Ooh, getting that armor break on the Monkey, but Monkey will shake it off pretty soon because it's just 1 turn.
Yeah, he has the skills available. Goes for the skill 2 to get that defense break on the Cigar. Raccoon is going to come online soon.
Yeah, the thing is, Raccoon will cleanse that Chakra, so if you hit that Chakra right now, it's not going to do too much. You could tumble in a little bit of damage on it right now, but the Chakra is probably going to get online after this. However, there's still speed buffs on the side of Guts.
Yeah, and he's not quite able to take it out now. Are you looking for a stun? Gets it on the Escher.
Very good stun. Finally, Chakra, you can do your thing. You can all show us right now why you're here on the field. What are you going to do? Actually gets a very crucial stun.
Does get the stuns. We've got branding and we've got attack breaks out as well. Can he look to get a second turn? Escher skill 3, is it going to be enough? It is to take him out.
It is definitely enough to take him out. Can we land on the fire units? We do land on the Fire Monkey, so the Fire Monkey is not going to be taking a turn and not too many cycling going on for that just yet. Raccoon once again looking at a stun.
Yeah, right now it seems if that Raccoon and the Mei Huang can get a little bit more online, say, they can look to deal a lot of damage to the side of Guts the Berserk. What's his win chance?
I would definitely say that Fire Monkey can do monkey things. If it takes an additional turn, like once... Ooh, that is so close. But we're actually going to see this Chung Pong move next. So the Chung Pong will actually take out this Cigar. And for that reason, the armor break is gone. We're just gonna have like a slight bit of heal block. We're gonna have a lot of sustain. We're gonna have a lot of protecting each other. But the moment that the monkey can actually land on, let's say, the Praha, then it's definitely going to be looking very bad for Guts.
Glancings at the moment. Raccoon following up soon, but can he get some more slows out on the field? And enough to take out that Chung Pung? It is.
Yeah, definitely is. And those slows plus those speed buffs is definitely what's taking Guts in this fight to still have a favorable matchup over here. However, we have seen that Monkey do monkey things. If the Monkey takes the skill 2, armor breaks into a skill 1. It would take out an Asher like that, and it easily takes it out. Now we have 2 fire units against 2 water units, but these are the most favorable fire units that you could have on the battlefield while fighting 2 water units. Raccoon survived by sliver of health. How much damage are we gonna do? We're gonna get a glancing hit, and that will probably take out that Raccoon right now. Monkey against the roll.
We've seen crazier things happen here, say. If that Monkey can get some additional turns and set up the defense breaks, it could be useful, but that slow is gonna help.
That slow is absolutely gonna help, and it's getting glancings right now, so it's looking pretty dire right now because there's a defense, there's slow, there's recovery coming up. We need additional turn right now. We need to land a stun, and we do not get a stun, and that will probably be the goodbye of this Monkey.
Wow, Guts taking that first point there against Angel, then managing to deal with the chakra. I mean, his brother is on the screen right now. You can see him looking in all of his glory, but his other brother didn't go in any glory right there. It came through with the Praha, with the Chandra, the 2 water units against the 2 fire units in this instance. Say, what are we going to see in this next set?
I'm not sure, because Angel definitely likes to mix things up. He still likes to use his LDs. He still likes to use that Veronica. He still likes to use the Maximilian. I do expect a Veronica ban right, or a Maximilian ban right here. We also have a Cigar ban on the other side, so Angel has that first pick, but I would say that Angel plays most favorable when he has those 2 LDs combined. When he has none of, or just one of the 2, he always is looking kind of like, okay, what would work? So let's see if he can make a draft that would work with a Veronica. Simply first picking it.
There you go. Actually, if you can see on the side as well, Angel at the moment is currently in league rank number 9 in the league. So he needs to get a point in order to try and jump up into that top 8. You can see the answer from Guts the Berserk being the Chandra and the Mei Huang. We've got double LDs coming out.
So he's trying to do the same thing that Hansol did earlier against Pink Roid. It's like, when in doubt, just throw all of the LDs at it. There's a lot of light LDs with like light LD elite, so it actually kind of makes sense. But Guts says, same as what Pink Roid did in previous match, just very good bruisers, simply picking out one by one the counters into those units. And I definitely do like the setup from Guts right here.
Yeah, he's going there with the Vertihill and the Smiser. Like you said, changing things up, seeing the LDs dropped on the side of Angel. Is he going to follow it up with anyone? I mean, inside of his box, he also does have a Gurkha. He also has a Ragdoll as well.
Yeah, those are definitely not too interesting of units at this position. I would say if you lock in something along the lines of a Rika plus maybe a Balanus right now in this position, because Guts doesn't have any form of strips, that could be something that you could kind of maybe dodge your way around like it. However, Guts in this position still has like a 5th pick that could be pretty favorable. Locks in a Sekhmet.
Sekhmet, we know how useful that skill 3 can be right now for the band. Stay, who are you liking?
I would say Heigang and Sekhmet. Both of the units are pretty much the most annoying unit that you probably don't want to deal with on the enemy side.
Let's find out then. These guys are thinking a little bit longer of it. Are we going to get another Zerath gameplay during this Summoners War European League Day 7? Yes, because he is going to be entering the field. We've got the crit rate lead as well coming in from him, and the speed lead coming out from the side of Guts of Berserk in our Summoners War European League Day 7. Match 7, set 2 between Angel and Guts the Berserk. Say, Veronica, can she land?
Veronica has to land all of this, does not manage to land on the Monkey, and does not strip the Smiser in the first place. So these units will have their skills up.
There will. She is going for the bomb right now. Does land it with the stun on that Veronica, so she's going to be not very useful for the rest of this match.
No, she's not going to do too much, but what we're going to be looking at is, can this Marsha actually armor break, set up quite a lot of damage right here if you lock it into the Vert or anything else. This can actually take out the unit. This can definitely take out the Monkey. Good damage, 37k, actually takes it out. Is this a one where Zerath can actually win the match? Because the Zerath has pretty good healing coming after this. And the bomb doesn't go off yet.
Bomb doesn't go off, but Marsha, I thought maybe could try and take out that Vertihill as well. He's not looking healthy on the side there, and he can give the cleanse.
That's such a huge cleanse. Zerath is actually a great unit in this, and also the Marsha being on Will early on definitely did help out, because it helps with the Heigang, it helps with everything, it just helps it to get that first turn. And I would say that Marsha's definitely looking in a very comfortable spot. He still has to take rid of this Smiser, but the Marsha probably has quite some stacks already. Ooh, gets that silence in.
The silence is going to prevent... Oh, but we've got it cleansed out with the defense. Break is available. Is enough to kill that Smiser.
So definitely the Hagang combination with that Marsha at the end definitely did help out quite some. These two units actually are the main units to take it out. In the end, the Veronica, it was the first pick, but they didn't have to do that much. However, we still have a Chandra plus a Vert here.
Oh.
We get an additional turn. If it crit once again, we take out that Vert, and that's going to be the point for Angel that he so much needs in this SWEL.
Definitely did. Marsha now just cleaning things up eventually against that Chandra. The additional damage over time isn't going to be enough yet. And there you go. You see, against that immunity, cleansing with the Hagang. Hagang is now going to be able to finish off the Chandra. Angel reclaiming a point against Guts the Berserk there, say. Xerath gameplay.
Yeah, definitely a very well played Xerath. That's the thing. If you get in that one armor break, Xerath is just able to lock in so much more damage. We saw that 37k on that monkey. That's absolutely going to take him out. But that also lowers the HP of all of the other units by quite a bit as well for how much damage you have been doing. So definitely does help out quite a bit. And then that cleanse. That cleanse was huge because the Veronica would have left the battlefield otherwise. In the end, the Veronica, besides the skill 3, didn't really do anything. But it's still a target that you want to keep on the field so he can't focus the Marsha that early.
Exactly, and the moment he was still on the field, it's just going to be annoying for Guts of Berserk to then have to try and deal with it a little bit later on. Great stuff for Angel. For all of you that are watching us, make sure you're using the command SWEL or EL in the chat in order to find the current leaderboard standings, because things have definitely shifted because of that match, and things might shift even more, say, as we look into our next match as well. It is going to be Rexus versus Sambi set. Rexus coming off the back of a very bad week in terms of what he's normally used to, with 5 losses and only 1 win out of his last 6 sets. And you look at Sambi set, he played okay in that first match, but he didn't manage to secure a point that he needed, right? We were saying you need to confirm those kills, and maybe it was a little bit too greedy from the Ziana. These guys actually as well, say, over the past 2 seasons have played each other a total of 2 times. Sambi's set is 100% win rate. It's not a lot of matches, but is it a sign for what's yet to come, do you think?
We're also going to play exactly 2 matches right here, right now. So let's see what these numbers will change on those exactly. But we also have seen in the leaderboards, Rexus is sitting on those edge of like rank 8, rank 9 before we started today. So he definitely has to be looking at getting his victories in here right now.
Yeah, he needs to get the points, like we said. Realistically, if you can get 4 set wins today, it's going to jump you up massively in that leaderboard. And that's what all of these guys are wanting to get forward to. Let's get into it. The warning signs are there for both players to get some much needed points, as we've got our Summoners War European League Day 7 match 8 set 1 between Rexus and Sambi Sep. Say, who do you like for pre-bans?
I definitely would say once again LDs. That is going to be looking at like a light monkey. That's going to be looking at like a Neftis, a Maximilian, something along the lines of those. Maybe even the Tian Leng. But I probably will be looking for those units for the pre-bans right here.
Let's see exactly. They're thinking a little bit longer over this one. Obviously, you can see on the league ranks at the moment, Sambi Sep currently sitting in 6th. Rexus in that 8th position, 2 points separating them as well. So if you can get a double win right now, it's going to jump him a few places in that leaderboard. Pre-bans come in, Kitan Dasheng and the Neftis, say.
Yeah, definitely those 2 LDs that we very much respect. Now looking at that first pick of Rexus, probably still likes to go for that more, that he has been drafting quite a bunch. Or is he actually going to switch up his draft because he does know that Sambi Sep likes the more as well. So stealing it right now is definitely strong, and he goes for that steal.
He gets the more. Sambi Sep coming in with the Escher then, and that Chung Pung as well. Say, are we going to have a speed battle, do you think?
Definitely a speed battle, but I would also say that Rexus on the Hagang right now definitely is nice, but you have to keep in mind that Sambi Sep definitely does like to draft in a Dark Robo as well. So could Rexus maybe be looking at like some kind of Nem Trap, or maybe another speed unit as in like a Sekhmet or something?
Let's find out. He's taking his time right now, Rexus. It is going to be a Cigar, and it is going to be a Hagang. Watching his previous stream for, I think it was yesterday, say, Hagang, he's one of those guys, if I can't play with him, you're not going to play with him. So he's taking it for Rexus' side.
Yeah, absolutely. So in this position, Sambi Sep has a potential to go. Ooh, goes for a Layla. He did use Layla in one of the first weeks together with pretty much the whole comp that's also revolving around Hagang. However, a Layla without a Hagang, you don't see too much. So definitely curious to see what Sambi Sep is going to be looking in with that. It is interesting into a Moor, however, because Moor does have difficulties in pushing back the wind unit. So Layla is most likely, if she's pretty fast, still going to be taking her turns.
Let's see then, as Rexus right now is going to be looking for the Marsha, getting some damage out on the field, and a Gapsu as well.
Gapsu with the Masha, definitely liking those units, because the interesting thing is if you go for an Asher skill 2, Gapsu gets a turn. Because there's 4 healings on the field, Gapsu gets a lot of attack bar on that, and Gapsu can start taking turns. So definitely a very difficult unit for Asher to deal with. So in this case, Sambi Sep, are you going to be looking at another speed lead, or are you going to be looking at maybe one of your robos? But it could be something that you might be lacking on damage as well. Goes for Tomoe.
So half of the comp have made it through here, say. Let's find out who those bans are going to be. Who are you liking?
I would definitely say you still have to get rid of that Hey Gang. The Hey Gang is very important, but on the other side, if you ban out that Asher, is the enemy team going to be fast enough? Whereas Rexus might actually just take a team or like a turn with that more plus that Cigar.
Let's find out. Hey Gang has been banned and Escher, so we are going to find out exactly what you predicted, say, going into our Summoners War European League. Day 7, Match 8, Set 1 between Rexus and Sambi Set. Both of these guys really want to jump with some points higher up the leaderboard from their current standings right now, as we're getting right into things. And it is going to be Rax with that more. Can he get the strips and pushbacks?
He gets quite some of the strips, but however, his whole team outspeeds the enemy team because also the Cigar is moving in front. Most likely the Marsh is also moving in front, so in this case, Cigar is gonna be looking at the skill 3 on the Tomoe, and he's trying to take out as much damage as possible on the Maximilian, and Maximilian in general case are not that tanky.
Let's find out. Cigar is going in with that skill 3, gets the cool time, doesn't get the pushback, but there are provokes out on the field.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of provokes. In this case, I would probably tumble down more damage into that Tomoe, plus try to get another provoke, because with that, the Marsh and everything would have been free for the next turn, but in this case, he's just going to simply secure that kill on the Maximilian.
Yeah, maybe teaching Sambi Set from his previous match, secure those kills, because they're going to end up coming back to hurt you if you don't take a unit out. Right now, oh, Marsha close to taking out that Chung Pung as well.
Yeah, definitely looking very favorable for Rexus right now. He has a lot of units looking very lively, and on the enemy side, it's not going to be taking too much turns, but we actually have seal runes on the side of Layla.
We do see a seal from the side of Layla. Sambi Sep is cooking for us all. He has skill 2 available as well right now, say.
Yeah, there's skill 2. There's definitely something with the cleanse blocks and a lot of despairs and quite some potential. We still have Tomoe going in with the skills as well. So if Tomoe can get like a good spread, it's definitely something that could work. However, the Tomoe was reset at the start of the fight. So if that Tomoe is not on Vio, it's definitely not going to see the day where she can go for those spreads.
Yeah, and Layla right now, 1v4 unit, it's not going to even be taking the chance to see as Rexus manages to secure that first point set win against Sambi Sep, they say. So Sambi Sep had something cooking, but it just didn't quite come off right.
Yeah, the thing is, it's kind of just lacking the speeds. We do know that Rexus has an insane amount of rune quality, so it's definitely super fast on those Vio units, and that's what we saw. We were on equal leads with Vio, and all of the units, all of them of Rexus outspeed all of the units from Sambi Sep. So that's definitely something that you're behind during your draft, that you have to be looking at, like, okay, what can I do to overcome that? And Asher is an option, but a Hey Gang or something like that would also be an option for him.
How does Sambi Sep then approach that, say, knowing that those units on the side of Rexus were all faster than him? Does he already have to secure at the start a complete change-up of his draft?
Well, he's going to be able to get the more in right now, and the more of Sambi Sep is also on Swift. At least that's the one that he's been playing the most. Maybe he's switching it up right now. But having that more in can kind of make it that if you get enough pushbacks, your units that used to be slower actually get faster, or simply, like I said before that, locking in that Hey Gang.
Yeah, locking in the Hey Gang from the Sambi Sep. How is Rexus going to look to respond here? Is he going to take his own speed leads through their stay? Are we going to see the more again?
I would definitely say that we're going to see the more again. I think it would be too early to go for a more light monkey. He normally likes to go more plus an Asher, but if he goes more plus Cigar or something like right now, it's definitely always good. Pretty early for a light monkey, like I said, but it definitely can work. But you already have to kind of be looking at, like, I probably want to bet out that Hey Gang.
Yeah, going to be seeing how he deals with that right now. Then Sambi Sep does have options right now. So he does have the Nephthys and still the Maximilian in his back pocket if he wants to pull it out. Would you be liking it in these picks?
I definitely, for Sambi Sep, he mostly plays best when he goes for his comfortable picks. He also has a Widget, so it's another speed lead besides those Nephthys, besides that Maximilian. A Widget, it's a fast unit, but is it going to be fast enough? We're going to see an Okeanos.
Yeah, Okeanos coming into the field. We know how strong the skill 2 can be, getting the cool time and the skill 3, hopefully putting out some stuns as well on the rest of the side as Rax has. Right now, is he going to pivot a little bit more, do you think?
Well, you could definitely pivot alongs the lines because Light Monkey by itself is enough CC for pretty much the whole team already. So you don't really have to tumble down a lot more CC units. So if Sambi or if Rexus wants to go down the line of just a Juno right now or something like that, it definitely would work. But you can also go for comfortable Chandra plus Cigar.
Yeah, Chandra and Cigar entering the battlefield right there then. Sambi Sepp coming up with some different picks right now. Is it the time for the Nephthys and his Maximilian?
I think a Maximilian doesn't fit because then you have 3 speed leads and it's not going to do enough. I definitely do like the Nephthys in here, but you still have to have something that would speed contest. Once again, goes back to the Layla. So this is definitely going to be the question of, is Rexus going to lock in another speed lead? Or no, wait, he already has 2 speed leads, another AoE strip. Because something like a Robo right now and a simple ban on the Wajat would do very good for Rexus in this position.
Let's find out if he is even, maybe he's even listening to you say. We saw as well from that previous match, Layla with the seal coming out. Let's see if she can even get a turn during this matchup. Oh, very much a change of things there with a Tetra.
Tetra's definitely interesting because Tetra's one of those units that doesn't really care about the cleanse block. So it just lowers the lowers the turns of all of that healing. So most of the Layla players do tend to ban out that Tetra. So, but in this position, I think banning out something else for Sambi Sepp might be more beneficial, but I'm not entirely sure what that would be.
Let's find out then. It's the mind games again. Say he's put it there hoping maybe that it is going to get banned so he can maybe steal a different brand on the side of Sambi Sepp. It is going to be Layla and it is going to be Tetra coming out of the match right there. We're going in with the speed leads from both the Maw and the Wedjat. This is our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 8, Set 2 between Rexus and Sambi Sepp. Can Sambi Sepp reclaim a point against Rexus?
Ooh, that is a very fast Maw indeed, and actually managed to push back a lot. However, was also pushing up the Nephthys, so the Nephthys is gonna take a turn right now, managing to land silence on all units right now. Now the question is, does anything proc out? No, we have a stun from the Monkey on the Okeanos. That was the most high value target that actually should be non-stunned, and we actually have both units being stunned.
Wow, both of them being stunned right now, Sid, but there are still debuffs on the side of Rexus and he's gonna want to try and turn cycle out of them eventually.
Yeah, definitely wants to. The Monkey takes the next turn, but once again, it's silent. So once again, can he get a stun? Does not get a stun at this position. We have the defense coming in, which means the Okeanos will move on armor breaks. This is going to do a lot of damage. There's so many things going on the field that I can't read the damage, but I think we're looking at like 3.5Ks on armor breaks. Definitely a lot of damage on that field, and we're definitely cycling through a lot of stuff. The big question is, can Rexus get online with his Monkey or his Cigar and turn around this match?
Let's find out. It did get cool time inserted onto the Monkey from that Okeanos, so it's going to need a little bit longer to really get online. But that additional turn starts the process.
It definitely does start the process, and also the Okeanos was able to reset just one unit. We still have that Cigar, we still have that Chandra. Those units can do a lot. Plus the Monkey, even on the skill 1, it is stunning.
It is stunning. Cigar now has all of those skills available. Is he going to look to use his skill 3? Yes. Onto the Nephthys, gets provoked where needed.
Yeah, does get the provoke, however, did not manage to land the strip, but we do get a lot of despair stuns from the Chandra, and that's definitely what Chandra's here for. Getting those slows in, getting those stuns in, and just... Ooh, this Monkey is so consistent on his skill 1, landing all of those stuns. It doesn't even need skill 2 or skill 3 to get all of those stuns in. It's just the skill 1. And now we have the Chandra being back up. Has the defense. Where are you going to place it? Probably on the Monkey. Protecting that Monkey, it's going to be so difficult to get rid of it right now.
Yeah, just Rexus is stunning wherever he needs to stun at the moment. Monkey has that second skill available, gets more stuns and into that skill 3.
Yeah, into the skill 3. The moment that the Light Monkey takes over, you can probably leave your match because the Light Monkey is so consistent with the skill 2 and skill 3. Normally it's not as consistent with the skill 1, but even when it does that, you can only imagine what the skill 2 and skill 3 are gonna do, and the moment the Light Monkey takes over, match is over.
Match is practically over right now. Nephthys has that skill 1 available, but right now it's looking very much in the driving seat for Rexus as he's gonna get another stun there on that Heigang say. And the Monkey, not quite this time. Maybe that's skill 1? Oh, he's just trying to clean off that Heigang, right?
Yeah, going for those secure kills, definitely the right play to do. But in the end, this match was very much over. Heigang plus the Nephthys that don't have any skills cannot win. And that is the double victory for Rexus, taking 2 points that he very much needs to qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah, that will actually equal the amount of points that Rexus and Sambi Sepp are on at the moment in the Summoners War European League leaderboard. For all of you, make sure you're keeping fully up to date. I mean, we're trying to do that during the breaks as well, just to make sure that we know exactly what is happening during the Summoners War European League. Looking forward to that, say, but wow, what a match, right? I mean, getting the stuns where needed, just showing again that Khitan Dasheng, when it can get online, how dangerous it can be as a unit.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of those units, like if you lock it in early, it's definitely something that you can build a whole comp around to counter it. However, the moment that it just has one moment to get online, and in this case, it didn't even need skill 2 or skill 3 with it. It was just skill 1 while being glanced was just stunning, stunning, stunning. So the moment that that happens, if you don't have those pushbacks that he normally has with the Sienna, they're just gonna take turns, and the moment that they take turns, it doesn't really work. Would you have said, like, okay, maybe his Sienna would have done a lot more than Okeanos in that match? In hindsight, maybe, but that's always a very easy way to say hindsight drafting.
Exactly. We've got now in front of us Nicer Smiser and Tito Goff. Let's say we know Nicer Smiser's journey is is ending in the Summoners War European League. He's not going to make it through to the playoffs. But Tito Goff still has it all to play for in that league rank number 5. There are 1,633 monsters in the collection. That's 46 more than matches these players competed in the past 2 seasons. That's quick math. Man's not hot. Let's go into our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 9, Set 1 between Nicer Smiser and Tito Goff, let's say. What are you liking for pre-bans right now?
I think these are very hard to predict because we saw Nice Smiser last time around kind of goofing around first pick and Darius. He already knew it was kind of how he was just trying to showcase fun matches, but let's see if he goes for a serious route right now or he actually likes to go for just trying out if there would be someone that could try out some of the new buffed units. Could be Nice Smiser over here, but actually tries to lock it in and still takes it very serious of saying like, okay, Tito Golet, you're not gonna get those points very easily, locking in the comfortable Chandra.
I mean, he wants to regain some of his kind of reputation here, right? Say, Nicer Smiser, who's been around the SWC last season. In this Summoners War European League, it hasn't always played out exactly for him at the moment, but right now we're seeing the Cigar and the Gapsu on the side of Tito Golet. Nice Smiser does have an Antares there at the moment, though.
Yeah, definitely an early Antares, but we do know that Gapsu likes to take a lot of turns. So an Antares is, in anything that takes a lot of turns, Antares is technically not that bad. However, it might be a little bit early because Tito can definitely counter all of those units pretty solidly from here. But also it's going to be the question, what does he pair it with? A Sekhmet. Interesting combination.
Sekhmet, we know that skill 3, again, getting the cool time, stealing those buffs on the side of the enemy. Let's find out how Tito Golet is going to answer to this. Say, is he going to contain, maybe with a Camilla into that turn 2?
Yeah, definitely liking the Camilla over here. It's definitely countering what's on the field. You could also pair this up in this position, like even a Miles or something would definitely be good. Praha, definitely an interesting unit in this position as well. Once again, the French players, they like the Prahas over here. Let's see what a Nicer Smiser likes to pair into this. I would definitely say something along the lines of a Diana, or maybe even that's less played, a Wind Monkey would definitely be interesting. However, you're looking at a lot of sustain on the enemy side, whereas you have a Bruiser fight without any sustain. So Nicer Smiser probably has to lock in a Diana plus some sustain.
I'll just say as well, he is technically Belgian, but he is from the French side of Belgium, so we'll class it as an okay. And we've got on there with a Raccoon and a Sonya being partnered up there.
Oh, okay, I'll rectify it. French-speaking players. Does that count?
Yeah. Yes. Not us.
So let's see, we have a Kinky once again coming back. It was one of those units claimed as nerf, not that strong, but we have seen it actually work pretty well. However, it's taken away, it's being replaced for his brother, the Suiki, and that definitely will say Sonya is not going to make it in this field.
Yeah, let's find out how they're going to respond now with the bans during this Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 9. It is, like I said, all still to play for Tito Golet at the moment. On 11 points right now, so he is at least 1 point above Rexus and Sambi set from what we just saw previously. But he'll want to get into that top 4 to try and get into the Saturday of those playoffs. It is going to be the Suiki and it is going to be the Sonya banned out in this case at the moment. Say, we're going to be heading into it as they're going to be taking those leads. Are we going to see an Antares? No, it's no crit rate lead there. We're getting the speed lead from the Chandra. We're getting the defense lead from Cigar. It's our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 9, Set 1 between Nicer Smiser and Tito Golet. Sekhmet, will she land it, say?
Will she land it? She does land it, so that's not going to be any daydream anytime soon. But the big question is this Antares going to be a sleeper Antares or an Antares that's very active? We're going back for the boost. That's actually very nice. If you land some armor breaks right now, does manage to land 2 armor breaks. That's not too bad. That's good setup for the Antares later. However, if you go in for the damage on the Antares right now, it might be that it's not going to be taken. Antares actually takes the speed buff.
Taking the speed buff. Now Chandra can come in right now. Is he going to be able to put his own slows and stuns out on the other side? Does get it over there on that Camilla. Yeah. Cigar following up.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Ooh, and we have a double resist from that Antares. So Antares has all skills. Once again, Antares not taking too many turns. There's not too many things going to happen. The most beneficial place for Antares to take a turn is exactly after that Camilla, but in this position you kind of don't want to go for skill 2, because you want to wait with that skill 2 until you have that attack buff, until you have that crit buff, because that's where you do the most amount of damage. Let's see if Antares is going to take any turns anytime soon, or is he going to be stunned by this big guy?
No, he's not, but Sekbet does have that skill 3 available. She can look to put a cool time on any of the units on the other side. We know Daydream isn't there. Resisted against trying to get rid of that freeze, but Antares has woken up.
Antares is woken up. Let's see how much damage can we do. The only armor break is going to be on the Camilla. Decides not to go for a skill 2 just yet.
Yep, and now Camilla has that freeze available. Is going to go into the Antares and getting another additional turn right now. He's going to be targeting into that Antares, say, and once it's off the field, where do you see the damage?
Yeah, there's not going to be too much damage on the side of Nice Smiser. Plus, Nice Smiser doesn't have that much sustain going on, whereas Tito Golet has a lot of sustain going on, but that is a lot of damage for that Antares coming in. Well, actually, not that much. It is okay. Like, Tito Golet can handle that. We need an armor break setup to actually do a lot of damage. All of these 4 units are super tanky. They have a defense lead, so the defense break is definitely needed for Antares to actually get in some damage, unless he starts taking like 3-4 turns in a row.
Exactly, and that's why it's crucial to defend that Sekhmet in order to try and get the defense breaks on the side of the field of Tito Golet. Gapsu right now, a second skill is going to be putting a bit more damage into Antares, but it's not quite enough yet.
Not quite enough, and actually is Nice Smiser running everything on full resistance, because Tito Golet is definitely not landing his things. He is landing that freeze, which is very crucial. However, we have that Raccoon moving next, which will just take that away.
Yeah, he's got the skill available. Who's he going to look to boost up? Usually himself to get a little bit more of the attack bar. Resetting that Praha is crucial, so he can't get any active sustain going through there, say.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get that armor break in. The moment that he gets armor break in and the Antares takes a good turn, there's 1 turn away from that potential armor break. If you get that cycling right, it still is a winning factor for Nice Smiser, but it's going to be difficult to get to that point.
Definitely is. Chandra following now with skill 3, gets the slows and gets the stun on that Cigar. Defense breaks are landing. 1.
Ooh, we have the defense break on the Praha. If the Antares would take a turn right after this, he will take out that Praha. Not gonna happen just yet.
No, not happening just yet. Will he wake up in time? Not the moment right now, say.
Yeah, we're still looking at that Antares. Also, the Chandra is moving next. Chandra is moving next and can probably take it out. Does not take it out, but does get a very comfortable stun. And the next units that follow up can probably take it out.
Yeah, I don't know, Raccoon right now. Who are you looking to boost up? This defense breaks are still a little bit further away, right?
Yeah, the defense breaks are pretty far away. You could boost up the segment once again. You could also simply boost up the Antares, because then you guarantee the turn for it. If you were to boost up the Chandra, it probably would have been enough as well. So I'm not sure if the boosting up for the Antares does that much. You can probably just give the turn to Chandra and kill it from there. But let's see what he does with that while the Pra is off the field right now. This Camilla is taking more and more damage from what she does from her skills itself. So she's going to be stronger and stronger the moment that we see more of that attack power going up and HP going down.
Yeah, but we're putting out those defends at the moment. Raccoon is going to be able... Oh, we've got Antares waking up right now. There's no defense breaks at the moment. But are you looking to heal, potentially? No, going and getting a stun.
Getting a pretty nice stun, but I would definitely say that that was a decent shot to go for a skill 2 at that moment, because also Antares, he gets stronger and stronger the longer the fight goes on. So it's definitely one of those units, if we're very far into the match, like 50-50 or 60-60, Antares is going to start one-shotting things.
He definitely is, and it gets the cool time, so there's not going to be a freeze coming out. Oh, and it wasn't quite enough for that Sekhmet.
Once again, Camilla, it's not doing that much damage. It's probably more of a healing-based Camilla, more on HP focus, maybe on crit rate rather than crit damage. It's not doing enough damage to kill those units. But it should be starting to take out those units pretty soon, because the longer Nice smises all of his units on the field, the more difficult it will get for Tito.
I'm wondering how many turns actually Antares took from himself at the moment, say. My maths would not be close on this. There's no quick maths here. But skill 2 available. Are you going to look for the heal or skill 1 just to get some more damage out into that gap suit?
Quite some damage going out. I also think that Nice Smiser doesn't want to go for the skill 2, because the skill 2 will actually give a full turn to Gapso, because the skill 2 has a lot of little bits, bunches of heal. But a little bit bunch of heal will give every bit of healing that you do attack bar to that Gapso. For that reason, he's probably not using that skill 2 at the moment.
Yeah, and also, like we saw, when it does take a turn, the Antares, if he can get that crit buff and the attack buff, it's going to do more damage, but there's no defense breaks right now. Is it your opportunity?
I would probably go for it, because maybe you can take out the Gapso. Gapso, as I said, takes a lot of attack bar in that and actually starts healing. However, Gapso gets lower and lower in damage the longer the fight feels. So, do we get armor breaks once again? No armor breaks, but you can boost up something, and Antares will definitely be able to take out the right 2 units if you so desire. So that is definitely an option that you could go for right now.
Does Chandra have skill 3 available? Oh, maybe that was the guess right there to see if he had it. But he can't cycle through to it just yet, but he's going to be able to take 1 kill of that Gapsu.
900 damage for the kill. Not that much damage. We have Camilla going in with the additional turn. Also not doing too much damage on this Antares right now, so definitely more of support style. But the skill 2 does do a lot of damage at the right time.
Oh, here we go. Cigar is going to go in, gets the cool time, but not the pushback, and then he provokes out there. So it's kind of healthy at the moment.
Yeah, actually, weirdly enough, the damage on the side of Tito was so low that just the Raccoon was enough to heal the whole team the whole time. Whereas Tito had like pretty much 3 units that were like fully based off healing, but they couldn't make a kill.
Wow, nice Smiser managing to take a point away from Tito Golet in our Summoners War European League there, say. Really, I mean, we were questioning originally about that Antares pick and obviously coming through, but in the end, it managed to stay on the field long enough to do more of that damage. Tito Golet maybe a little bit dumbfounded with, oh, okay, it's on the field and I can't get rid of it.
Yeah, it was definitely, I would say, an Antares that was pretty tanky, whereas the enemy side was also very tanky. If that Camilla was more based on damage, it would have probably taken out that Antares like halfway through the match earlier. If that moment would have happened, Smiser would have been in a bad position, but since that Antares was also not doing too much damage, but very tank focused, the Raccoon was just able to heal up the little bit of damage that Tito was dropping on the side of Smiser.
Yep, exactly. And we're going into the pre-bans right now. It's obviously tough for Tito Golet in this aspect because Smiser is playing maybe some things that are not usually played on the ladder all too often. Right now we see Tito Golet deciding to pre-ban that Volantis, and we also see the Cigar on the side of Smiser. Maybe just to add, say, Volantis, the lowest win rate monster in our Summoners War European League, 10% in 14 sets.
Ooh, those are definitely not that great of numbers. It's definitely a unit that kind of struggles into the current meta. I was actually going to say, might as well as being Tito just ban that Antares, because Smiser definitely likes his way around that Antares, so might as well just ban it if you don't like to play against it. But in this case, you have to play against it. Smiser is definitely going to play for a very turn 2 focus. If Tito Golet goes in with like a Dominic in this position together with the Nikki, it is very strong, but I'm also absolutely liking that Gapso, because once again, the enemy side is showing 2 potential healers already.
Yeah, they are right now. We said before they were tanky, but they weren't dealing enough damage, say. Bringing in Nikki, is that a good answer for him?
I definitely do like the Nikki. It's that attack buff, it's just setting up for a lot of damage. However, once again, the Chandra and the Gapso, they don't do too much damage. The Nikki itself does do quite a lot of damage. Smiser definitely having a strange draft with going like a little bit of turn 1, a little bit of turn 2, a little bit in the middle, and a little bit actually nothing at all. So definitely an interesting one on that Robo. Could be maybe a Nemtech Robo to move right after that Nikki. Not too sure. But I'm definitely do liking that Kinky pick at the end right there.
Yeah, we were speaking a lot actually about Kinky over the past few Summoners War European League days. Actually, say Kinky at the moment, the 5th highest win rate of monster that's played over 10 sets, which is crazy considering in not the most recent balance patch, but the one before, everybody thought the unit had gone. But in the right position with the defense breaks, we saw how much damage it could land on the opponents, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm quite surprised that that is one of the higher picked units, or the higher win rate units. It is somewhat making sense that the last pick is probably the highest win rate, but we also see a Feng Yang, which is also like a very strong unit. However, you already have bombs on the enemy side, so I'm not too sure if a Feng Yang is going to do too much, if it's going to be a left in this field.
Yeah, who are you liking for the bans there then? Say you were speaking about the Feng Yang, but maybe leave it in to deal with those bombs?
Well, I would say if you lock in the Feng Yang, you probably ban out that Gianna. I think that's probably the most favorable draft way of Smiser. On the other side, maybe the Robo? Well, we have the Robo.
Nice. You got there just before it happened, so I'm going to say it was all wisdom. We've got the crit rate lead coming in from Antares. We've got the speed lead from Chandra on the side of Tito Golet. This is our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 9, Set 2 between Smiser and Tito Golet. Nikki taking that first turn.
Let's see how much damage we do. That's some decent amount of damage across the battlefield. Getting an additional turn, not really at a most comfortable position, because you could go for sleeps right now, maybe on the Feng Yang. I would probably aim for that, but it's not going to do too much either way.
No, he has the second skill available. If he's looking to use it already, or are you already going to start dealing damage into that Nikki, say? Going for the skill 2, get that recovery, and it allows for the revenge as well.
Yeah, definitely allows for the revenge, but it's not going to have too much either way. In this case, he's definitely going to be looking at the Antares still doesn't really like to take turns. Let's capitalize off that. Antares is still not moving. Antares really has to move after this if he's not stunned. Is actually stunned, so if Antares moves right now, it's still not going to work. We have a Kinky going in with a skill 2, does a lot of damage, 12k, simply taking out that Antares.
Taking it out, managing to get the endure from the takeout as well, say. The Light Unicorn right now is going to transform, going to get some anti-crit and get some healing and more immunity up on the side of the field, but he's going to need Feng Yang to get online.
It's going to need Feng Yang to get online, but the interesting thing is, every time that the Fur does skill 1, you're actually going to give quite some attack bar to the Gapso as well. So this Gapso is definitely doing very nice, but all eyes are on the Feng Yang for nice Smiser, because that is his unit that actually could turn around this match if it gets enough turns, if it does enough damage, if it gets those armor breaks in. However, there is the Nikki protection, there's the Chandra protection, there's the Gapso. There's just a lot of things going on the side of Tito right now.
Yeah, there is at the moment. Gapsu is going to be able to use that skill 2 on the Verde Hill. It's branded and dealing a lot of damage. He's trying to target to stop the attack bar boosting.
Once again, double turn for that Feng Yang, trying to tumble in quite some damage, but still the Chandra's looking very lively in opposite of that Verde Hill that just left the battlefield by getting a lot of damage. That branding plus that attack buff, you don't even need an armor break, it's just doing a lot of damage from that Kinky right there.
Definitely is, and Chandra right now can look to defend that Nikki a little bit longer. Going into there, Gapsu, say it's tough right now. Nice Smiser versus the world.
Yeah, pretty much. We have that Kinky going in with quite some damage, getting the additional turn, going in with that skill 2. He's definitely going to take out that Light Pony. Now we have that Feng Yang against Roid. Probably goes for the protection right now. Doesn't go for the protection. That's actually an interesting one. Probably was waiting for it to actually get heal blocked first and then cleansing off the heal block. Let's see if that actually works out, that he can actually take a turn.
Yep, he is going to be able to take a turn. He can now cleanse that, and he puts the revenge. But getting that additional turn is going to lower that down.
Yeah, it's going to lower that down, but we also have a unit that can actually... Oh, you were healing? No, let me steal that for you. You don't need that healing. We have a Gapso on the field, and then you have a bunch of armor breaks, Gale Sprayer. We just get right rid of those.
Yeah, and right now he's not going to be able to survive too much longer. Chandra, with that skill 3, is going to manage to secure the win for Tito Golet against Nicer Smiser. Say, Tito Golet reclaiming a point against Nicer Smiser, who sadly can't qualify anymore, but he can do a lot of things in this Summoners War European League to change things higher up the leaderboard, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely in that first match, it did show like a very slow-paced match, but it was definitely a match where the Antares was a lot more favorable than in this match, because in the end, if your Antares is very tanky, but it doesn't take turns, and it's going to be taken off the field by very high damage units, like that Kinky, like that Nikki, it's still not going to do enough. So it's definitely an interesting pick to be looking at early, especially if you really favor that turn 2 kind of style. However, it doesn't work all the time.
It doesn't, and you can see as well, I said it just before there, say, Kinky gets another win to his tally at the moment. He's going to do him a world of good on our stats, and we love those stats, reading all about them. You guys should love the stats as well. Make sure you're using command SWEL or EL in the chat to find out everything about the Summoners War European League, not just the leaderboard, even though it's probably the most important thing right now, but you can learn more about the players, who they are, kind of their previous ranks, and all of the various stats that are going around Summoners War. The more you can deal with the stats, the better and higher you can get. And with that, we'll see you in 5 minutes after a short little break.
See ya.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Summoners War European League Day number 7. Now, the past 6 league days, we've actually left you at this point because we only played 9 matches. Tonight, though, it's 12 matches, so we've got 3 more to come minimum, and we might have even more depending on the standings of the leaderboard in order to split the different points and see where people are in terms of those rankings. We've already had those 9 matches, saying you can see them in front of us. A lot of things have shifted in the leaderboard right now, but we can already actually mention that Smiser, Hansol, Adrey, and Angel have not managed to qualify into the top 8 spots in the Summoners War European League leaderboard. Now, congratulations to them for even getting into this Summoners War European League. That's a feat in itself, in all honesty. But right now, they won't be able to advance with any more points since they won't be playing. Only Smiser, he could still have a lot to say as he plays Glorious a little bit later. Maybe he can prevent Glorious getting any higher. But for the rest of the guys, they still want to get all of the points possible to jump higher in that leaderboard to hopefully get an easier match during those playoffs, right? And that's exactly what we're going to be getting into right today. We've got some of the craziest matches. We've actually kind of saved some of the best till last, and I don't know how that happened because it's all random at the start of the Summoners War European League, say, but here we are. We've got all these. Any surprises for you so far in the leaderboard?
Well, I would say Hansol being locked in at 11th place is definitely surprising because in the leaderboards on the ladder in game, he's always like ranked pretty much one of the highest of Europe. So that's definitely a surprise. I would say the other names are all kind of somewhat familiar names that we also have seen like in SWC. So besides the SWC players, I would say Sambi Seb is maybe the surprise that actually made it in.
Yeah, he's managed to make it through. He's going to be in that 8th spot because he can't claim any more points in these last matches. But the last 6 players will be able to claim some points. And there might be a lot of shifts happening as we get through to the end of the league day number 7. Looking forward to the next match right now. Say we do have probably one of the hardest hitting matches. It's Obabo versus Pink Roid. These guys have actually, wow. Is that correct? These guys have actually played each other a total of 50 times over the past 2 seasons, say, with Pink Roid coming out with a 56% win rate against Obabo. Could this be a warm-up for the real SWEL finals yet to come? It's Dark Roid versus Obabo time. Here we are in our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 10, Set 1 between Obabo and Pink Roid. Pre-bans coming in straight away there, say, Tianlang and Heigang.
Yeah, definitely 2 very expected bans over there because the Tianlang is something that really counters the Heigang, and Obabo would be locking in that Heigang in the first spot if it was not pre-banned. So definitely 2 very well pre-bans over there. Obabo locking in that Oliver, something he doesn't use all the time, but definitely very strong one. Pink Roid answering with that cigar. Is he gonna look into a Chandra or a Vanessa, something like that? He does have the Vanessa plus Julian kind of combo that Paxic likes to use as well, but doesn't use it all the time.
Yeah, and like I was mentioning before, say, points really matter. These guys are both joint points at the top of the leaderboard currently. If one of them can get a 2-0, it's going to guarantee they're going to have that number 1 spot, and they'll get that first pick going into the best of 5s, or best of 7s even, I think, by that point, into the actual playoffs as well. Pink Roid stealing that Etna, potentially, and going along with an Escher as well.
So definitely looking out at the units without the speed leads just yet on the field on the side of Pink Roid. Looking at these units like, okay, I'm gonna take turn 1. He has that Light Monkey still in his back pocket. He has that more potentially still in his back pocket. Obabo, are you going to be looking at a turn 2 kind of comp, or are you also looking still to go for the turn 1? Because if you lock in a Zima right now, I'm not too sure if you're gonna take that turn 1. However, I do like that Velajul and I do like that Vertial. Looking a little bit more for the turn 2 kind of rotation. And then see what Pink Roid likes to answer. Still goes back to that Tomoe. Very interesting.
Yeah, let's find out what he's going to look to partner with. Ooh, is it going to be the first of the other Monkey Brothers that we might see some more Monkey business with the Shiho, say?
Shiho is definitely a strong one here into a lot of those fire units. It definitely is one of those units that can maybe lock out the Velajul for getting the immunity and then also getting the stun on it. So definitely interesting units right there. So let's see what Obabo likes to play into it. I would say something along the lines of a Juno is actually good against everything that you see on the enemy side right now. However, I'm not too sure if it's the right place to lock it in at this position.
Yeah, let's find out how Obabo is going to answer right now. You can see as well, these guys have both got actually a legend in Obabo and 2nd place on the side of Pink Roid. So these are some stellar players in our Summoners War European League. We've got Azima and partnering it with a Shizuka instead, say.
Very interesting Shizuka play right there. It's maybe betting on that all of the units on the side of Pinkroid do not have too much chance of landing on 100% resistance Shizuka, and therefore maybe rotating that whole match around. Plus you have the chance of actually getting the immunity that was on the monkey on your whole team. So with that final pick that I see on the side of Pinkroid right now, which is definitely an interesting unit without like any of the snipes as a Sonya or anything like that. However, I would say that's when you lock that in, it's probably a Shizuka ban. No, actually goes for more protection style, which is a Wusa.
Oh, Wusa coming in then instead. I think it's actually one of the first few times we've seen him actually in the Summoners War European League. The draft's looking a bit different from what we would usually suspect right now. So who are you liking for the bans?
Definitely very interesting match for the bans. It's very hard to predict the bans as well. I would say that the monkey's gonna do a lot of damage against those fire units, but on the other side, are you gonna take out those fire units, or maybe you respect the Shizuka?
Let's find out. They're taking all the time that they possibly need. It is the respect on the Shizuka. We've got a Wusa going out as well. Speed leads for both these guys. The 33 from Oliver, the Tomoe 24. We're here as Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 10, Set 1 between Obabo and Pinkroid. Etna taking that first turn, say.
We have Etna taking the first turn and Asher taking the second turn. So that does mean that the monkey's gonna move next as well. So now it's going to be the big question. What are you going to try to lock? You managed to get the stun on the wrong element. That was above 50% HP. So that's definitely a very crucial stun. If you boost right now, you probably also have to stun this Valajul right now. Can you manage to do so?
Let's see if Shiho can do some more monkey business. Does get the strip, doesn't get the stun though, but Tomoe can follow up with a suppression.
Yeah, you could go for the suppression right now. It would nearly take out the full unit. Oh, actually decides to switch it up, and it's gonna get cut at this position.
Let's find out. Oliver right now has that skill 3 available, can look to reset the attack bar, get some cool time, gets the cool time on the Escher. Villager with that skill 3 immunity for 3 times.
Yeah, definitely immunity that will stay quite some time. You do have the skill 1 of Tomoe that can go for a strip, but besides that, there's not too much strip going on anytime soon. Adna can't really go for too much cycling, especially not with that Zima landing a silence.
Yeah, the silences are going to prevent it getting online any of the units from Pinkroid, and all that immunity, the second skill is useless.
Yeah, we still need to have that monkey on that third skill. However, the monkey's probably going to get reset pretty soon. We have that Oliver following up. We have that Verdiel following up, so Oliver will definitely take a lot of turns before this monkey moves again to potentially get that third skill in.
Yeah, he's gone in for the cut time, managing to take out that Etna right now. The bomb is available. Does he land it? And with the stun as well.
Yeah, definitely looking very nice for Obabo right now. The units on the enemy side are all looking stunned, silenced, armor broken, low on HP. Whereas Yorsima is kind of low on HP, however, you still have a lot more things going on. We did get a Tomoe with a stun over there. We did not manage to reset the monkey. However, the monkey is still locked down for 2 turns because of that bomb.
Yeah, and Oliver's going to be cycling. He's going to take more turns. We're going to get a bit of healing now from Zima. And we're getting more immunity up on the field.
Yeah, definitely a lot of immunity with that Valajul back in the time again. That's definitely why I was kind of surprised about the skill of the Tomoe on the Oliver earlier, because if you lock out that Valajul, that's like the core of the team. That will be the core protection. Sure, that Oliver's going to be annoying. It's likely to be locked out, but if you were locking out that Valajul with all of that immunity, you probably had a better shot at it.
Yeah, and right now, Obabo very much in the driving seat against Pinkroid right now, as Oliver has that skill 3 available, and it's going to take out the monkey for Obabo to secure that first point against Pinkroid. Wow, remember these guys are both on the top of the leaderboard, say, and getting a 2-0 right now is going to guarantee you first position in the Summoners War European League. How do you think Pinkroid can come back from that?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see the Pinkroid draft, because we see a few units that you don't really normally see too much in meta. We saw like the Water Monkey, which is an interesting unit. If it did manage to land its stun, it would have been able to do quite a lot more, but would it have been enough? I'm not entirely sure about that.
Yeah, let's find out. Ooh, he's got respected. He didn't want to take on that Zima anymore on the side of Pinkroid. Obabo again saying, if I can't have Hairgang, you can't have Hairgang. What do you think the first pick is for Pinkroid?
Pinkroid, it could be that he goes once again for that steal of the Athena. I do think that Pinkroid kind of likes to play his Athena as well in his own playstyle, but in the last match it looked more as a steal rather than a comfortable pick himself. But in this position, goes for Chandra first, or maybe a Cigar.
Looking at the Chandra right now, we know how useful the speed lead can be, the defend and putting out the slows on the opposite side of the field. Are we going to see the favoured picks of Obabo being that Etna? Are we going to see another Oliver?
Yeah, Oliver and Athena is pretty hard on wind for the first 2 picks. It definitely is a possibility because you do see that Chandra on the enemy side. However, it is very likely that Pinkroid would then pick up his own Verdi Hill in that position. So in this case, we go back to the Village.
Yeah, it worked well in that last round for Obabo, so he's deciding to take it through right now. Roid has that very strong LD, Tian Lang, and another one to partner with that Julian. Do you think if it goes through, we see another, what was it, double 17k hit?
I definitely, knowing from Roid's runes, that Julian is definitely going to be doing a lot of damage. And I definitely do like the Tian Lang over here, because the two units on the Obabo side both have an attack bar increase already. So that's well counted by the Tian Lang. So probably Obabo is already looking at like, okay, whatever I draft, I probably have to get rid of the Tian Lang later. So I have to draft like in a kind of safe way, where the 4 and the 5 slot are not going to lock me down, that I also have to ban those.
Oh, that's one answer to a Julian right there. Say, with the Doomman, we know that Curse of Death, it can destroy a unit with just taking those turns. Partnering with the Cigar. Roid going in with the Sekhmet, looking for some cool times.
Yeah, definitely looking for some cool times on the Doomman. The moment that the Doomman gets that skill, the third skill off, it's pretty much guaranteed death unless you actually manage to kill it. In this position, I like the Pure Vanilla Cookie a lot more, so definitely nice drafts over there. Also where Obabo, he has a few single target strips, but it's not really an AoE strip or anything too much like that. So definitely nice draft by both of the players right here, right now.
Yeah, so he's got that last pick at the moment for Obabo. Does he continue it then with that AoE strip set, or do you need to have some sort of teasing the fans?
Teasing the Coco, however, the Coco is also already counted by the Tian Lang, so I definitely don't think it would fit if he locks it in right now. He might just go for it because he can't find a better answer, but with that said, I think he has to ban out that Tian Lang.
Let's find out then if it is going to be banned. Is Roid going to be banning out the content in that Coco on the side of Obabo? Let's find out. It's going to be Cigar ban. It's going to be Neftis ban. So we've got Tian Lang and Coco on the field. Speed leads for both of these guys, Obabo and Roid, as we go into our Summoners War European League Day 7. Match 10 set 2 between Obabo and Roid. If Obabo can win, he'll go very much top of the leaderboard, say.
Let's see what we do over here right now, because if we go for the Karma, we don't boost our own attack bar by as much, but we have to probably go for a strip. Does not manage to get any strips, and we did get the attack buff, but we once again see that Julian just tumbling in a lot of damage.
Change right now, looking for that strip onto the Coco to not get it online, but can he take it out before it's taking a turn? Probably not.
Well, it depends. Like, you can take one turn on it, but I would say that if the Julian hits it once again, I'm not sure if the skill 1 is going to be enough to actually kill it. But let's see what happens from this right now.
He was potentially looking for the additional turn there to try and do a lot of damage into a unit. That skill 1 is just targeting the damage, but he's getting that healing back from the orbs.
Yeah, currently getting those healings back in from the orbs. Does not actually manage to kill with the Tian Lang skill 2. The unit is slightly nerfed with the damage, or actually quite nerfed with the damage. Skill 1 might have actually done more damage because of that attack buff.
Is he going to go for it? He's going for that skill 1, and now we're going to see the damage coming out from that Coco. Is it going to be enough? Not yet.
It's quite some damage, but it's not going to be enough. So definitely he can take out the Coco right now, but the miss is the double crit. That's probably a double crit miss on a 70. However, we have the Chandra following up with that defense and probably going for skill 3 here. Potentially trying to get a slower stun on that Oliver. Does not manage to get it. So now it might be that Oliver is going to be taking over this match.
Let's find out. He's going to be pushing back that Julian, trying to get it not online. Skill 2 is available for the Villager. Is he going to land a defense break? Where though?
Yeah, the defense break is not really that beneficial. You could go for... Ooh, actually does manage to land it, but it could have also been a choice to maybe go for a skill 1. Can we get an armor break? Do not get an armor break right there at the moment. We have the curse of that on the Julian. It's going to say goodbye unless we take goodbye of the Doomman itself.
Exactly. Does he decide to try and push it back a little bit more, or just allow it to take some more turns in order to kill itself?
Oh, does take an additional turn once again, double miss crits, but also takes the additional turn with the skill 2 and actually does manage to do enough damage. While that, also the Oliver did miss the reset on the Pure Vanilla Cookie, if I saw that correctly. So Pure Vanilla Cookie might have skills up. It's just one turn away from those extra skills. It might get karma'd here right now.
Yeah, let's see if it's going to use the suppression from Doomman. Do you go on the Chandra? Do you go on the Water Vanilla Cookie? He's going to try and strip it off that Tian Lang.
Trying to strip it off the Tian Lang, but did not manage to get it. So these units are not going to deal that much damage. At least the Doom on skill 1 is not that much damage. We got the armor break coming in. Valajul, how much damage can you do? Does do quite some damage, but it's not going to be enough. We're going to have the Pure Vanilla Cookie with speed buff. Speed buff is definitely going to be speeding up those units by quite a lot. We got slows on the enemy sides, and that's how you take over a match.
Oh, yeah, getting that stun on the Doomman as well right now. Tian Lang set up a defense break. He's going to be getting more damage piled into him right there, and a Roid takes that 1 set win against Obabo to make it a draw, 1-1. I think these guys are going to be joint at the top of the leaderboard then, say. So we'll get into things a little bit later on to explain how that is actually going to go on. Roid, that right there, managed to survive through the Dooman, getting rid of that Coco off the field as early as possible. Did you like the picks from Obabo, or do you think they were a bit strange?
I would say the first 4 picks definitely made sense, but the Coco one, yeah, sure, if it procced, it would have made a lot of sense, then it would have probably won the match, but if it doesn't proc, which is the higher chance, it's not the greatest of drafts at that moment, because it was just a unit that you could relatively easy take out, and the moment it's taken out, it's not going to do as much. If it was more of a unit that could maybe follow up on the Vela Jewel, or just be more of a bruiser unit in the first place, it probably could have done a little bit more. But once again, if the Coco actually did manage to get that additional turn, it would have probably taken a one-shot on one of those units.
Yeah, definitely. Again, just the damage coming out from the Julian. I mean, the Curse of Death managed to take it out in the end because it took so many turns, but it could get rid of Oliver off that field before he could get back online and start putting some cool times, taking the attack bar down. What a crazy match. I mean, like I said, maybe that's something of what's yet to come in our Summoners War European League playoffs. But looking forward to our next match right now, say, we actually have Glorious versus Smiser. These two guys have played each other a total of 2 times on the leaderboard over the past 2 seasons. Glorious, 2-0 win, so he's a 100% win record. And just to mention as well, they obviously have some of the same units. It's that time. Who will be dancing in the moonlight? Or is there a further touch of punishment that they are yet to receive in our Summoners War European League Day 7 Match 11 Set 1 between Glorious and Smiser? If you didn't get the reference, Volantis is up for grabs for both these guys. We've got a Shan ban and a Chandra ban.
That was a very fast and terrorist. I would also say that this is the player that Smiser is the player that likes to lock in the most amount of turn 2 comps, and Glorious is the player that likes to lock in the most amount of turn 1 comps. So we really have a very strong turn 1 player against a very strong turn 2 player. So let's actually see how that works out with this match specifically.
Yep, the old question. Turn 1 versus turn 2. We've got more on the field. We've got Chungpung. We see that Volantis again say, I'll mention it again. 10% win rate in our Summoners War European League. Is that an omen for Smiser?
Yeah, let's see about that. He's definitely gonna go for those turn 2s. Might lock in the light pony once again. Oh, actually kind of switch it up. Maybe a little bit faster of pace with the Sierra right there.
Yeah, changing it up, getting the speed lead involved. Haegang going in there alongside the Canal. Also another kind of pivot right now.
Yeah, definitely a kind of pivot, which shows a little bit of like still bruising style, a little bit of still CCing style, because Carnal is like something that does a little bit of everything. So definitely a strong pickup over there. But now Smiser has to be looking at like, okay, do we still go more turn 2? Yes, light pony coming in. And maybe even something along the lines of a Smiser right now would probably fit this draft.
Deciding for some monkey business potentially with that Mei Hu Wang. Just to mention, guys, as well, all of you watching with us, Glorious wants to get these points. He could jump all the way up into probably a 3rd position right now, which is definitely advantageous. Taeor we see out on the field.
Taeor is definitely an interesting one. With Taeor on the field, I probably expect the Haegang and the Volantis being banned, because the only AoE strip that Smiser has is probably that one. Okay, in this case, it's all eyes on the Volantis. Is he gonna do his thing and take the turn?
Let's see. Glorious with the speed lead, the defense lead from Smiser. We're here. It's our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 11, Set 1 between Glorious and Smiser. Moore is taking that first turn and gets the strips.
Gets the strips, and Volantis decides to give it a go. Not gonna do anything. Did it over there, but in this case, a little too late. We also get a bunch of freezes, but not on the pony, and that's the one that you're actually looking for.
Yeah, now can follow up through. Ventaris tried to say something, but he was already out of the match right there. The skill 3 from Karnal. How much damage is this going to be?
That is definitely quite some damage coming in there with that additional turn. Are you going to land it on the pony? Because the moment that the pony gets online and the pony is not resisted, or they're not reset, I saw the resist on the field while I said it, it's going to be enough. We get an armor break on it, but can you actually get a stun? You do get a slow, so that does lower the damage on this pony right now. But is it going to be enough?
He's going for it, and it's not enough. But Antares comes calling again. He wakes back up into that Chungpung, gets the slow.
Gets the slow, so now we have the pony with the change, with the immunity, with everything going on. We have the Volantis simply taking over. Do we get a lot of provokes? We do get a decent amount of provokes in 2 units, but we also have that monkey taking over this match, so this is definitely looking very favorable for Smiser at this position.
Yeah, that monkey, when he... Not the monkey, sorry. when the Unicorn could get online, it just completely changed things on the side of Smiser right now, saying I would say he's in the driving seat.
Yeah, absolutely in the driving seat. He still has to take care of the Cardinal, which is a very tanky unit, but he doesn't have to look that much at the Teor anymore. The Teor, it's not going to do too much. It's probably not on fire. Most of the time it's built on Swift. And the Fire Monkey likes to eat some of the water units.
Yeah, Moore right now is going to be looking to do some sort of a tie break. Gets it on the Antares right now, but it's not looking good, and Antares comes calling again. Manages to take out one of the units, but Kano's going to fall very soon as well.
Yeah, definitely Antares at this position in this match, working at the right moments, getting those turns in at the right moments, getting his healing back up, getting his attack bar back up, denying the turns of the enemy with like just a little bit of pushbacks. Monkey just doing his thing, but it's definitely all about that light pony that took a right turn with all of that cycling of that immunity.
Smiser getting that 1-0 start against Glorious right now. Say, we said it before, turn 1 versus turn 2. Turn 2 had the better in that matchup. Do you think Glorious might try to steal that, or do you think he needs just something to follow up a little bit further?
I would say that Glorious turn 1 comps are mostly revolved more around his LDs, and I think he should be looking more at that rather than going for like a Cardinal or something like that. It's a nice bruiser unit, but it's not going to be cleaning the battlefield kind of nice unit.
Yeah, here we go. We see the pre-bans coming in. Glorious does not want to face against that Eleanor, purely because of that one turn that it managed to take. One turn is all it takes, guys. Managed to change things around, and we see Tianlan coming out on the side of Smiser in that pre-ban. Glorious, is he going to be taking a more? Are we going to go for that turn 1 again?
Yeah, normally he likes to lock in something along the lines of a more. Well, Sean, that's definitely his comfortable picks, and then he can always check later, is the Chiwu better fitting or is a more better fitting? So definitely do liking that first pick of him right now. Likes to go for that more. It's a little bit more safe against a Hagang that might be coming from Smiser later. But now it's really depending of like, okay, what is your current follow-up on all of those units?
Oh, he decides to take the Hagang for himself then on the side of Glorious Smiser. We've seen a lot of different things there. Are we going to see maybe more Cocos later on? Wind Robo at the moment.
Wind Robo at the moment, actually signaling like, okay, I'm not going to give you full turn 1. The Wind Robo is mostly built on Swift, so it would probably outspeed the units on the side of Glorious. However, a Chandra is not really follow-up. Antares is not really follow-up, so you probably have to lock in 2 follow-up units or a very fast unit that could actually snipe something as a Sonya. Liking this draft.
Yeah, liking the snipes as well. He needs to take a high base speed unit or maybe another speed lead, say, right? He's got the Vanessa out on the field right now. Oh, maybe the Carlos?
Carlos is always one of those units you feel like it's supposed to counter Sonya, but the big issue is that Carlos is so low on base speed, whereas the Sonya passive, while Sonya's being so fast, you cannot really take out the Sonya. It's just an issue for that one. Fire Cassandra is definitely an interesting one over there, but I definitely also do like that run in that position.
Let's find out then exactly how Smiser is going to respond with this at the moment then. Does he maybe need to also secure a speed lead, or he's already got like some high base speed units there at the moment, say?
Ooh, definitely an interesting unit that he hasn't been drafting too much. Pontus, and that's probably signals that he's banning out that Hagang and trying to maybe Nemtrap with the Pontus.
Well, let's see what Smiser has got cooking, folks, because this is their last matches for both of these guys in the Summoners War European League in terms of the league days. We will be going into the playoffs eventually over the next weekend. We'll tell you a lot more. Pontos is banned out, and we've got that Federica or the Fire Cassandra banned out. We've got more with the speed lead and Chandra with the speed lead as well right now. It's our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 11, Set 2 between Glorious and Smiser, say.
Ooh, we have a very fast Ren here at hand, and the Sonya is actually not showing too fast, so if you go for skill 2 right now, the only target that Sonya can aim for is going to be that Ren, so you can't really do a skill 2 because it is protected. So let's see if Glorious can go for the battlefield with this right now.
Yeah, Antares waking up a little bit earlier in this match, getting some stuns there as well on the side of Glorious.
Definitely very nice stuns, but the Moor once again decided to strip near to nothing. We have seen it before, and this is definitely not looking good for Glorious.
Yeah, can Shan get online? I mean, right now, Chandra has the second skill or the third skill available. Defending that Robo now, third skill. Do you get a stun?
Doesn't get the stun, does not get boosted enough, even with the slow, not boosted enough, but also the Robo was not stunned at that position. He can go for cycling right now. He probably has to stun from the shot. Actually, decides to stun from the Ren. Interesting over there. Does get a little bit more damage in that way. Let's see if that is going to be enough.
Third skill is coming out. We're going to get the silences, and we still have that threat at the moment right now.
Yeah, there's there's 2 turns silence on all 4 units. Also, Violent on that more, definitely helping out a little bit. But we're also getting this, and Terrace close to getting online. And Terrace takes 1 turn. Can you take out a unit? Does do a double hit instead of a triple hit on the skill 1 and does not take out a unit. But takes another turn and actually can take out the Jean if he goes for it.
Let's see, does he take out that Shan right away? Or yes, he doesn't!
Oh, he goes for a triple hit on that skill 1, but doesn't actually manage to take it out. So he has to waste 1 more turn to actually take out that Jean right now.
He is. Or does he side? He changes things up because he can get 2 units off the field as well, but it's more in Haegang versus Antares, Robo, and Chandra.
We have a Moore that's actually on Bio, so it's actually kind of a close match. Moore probably has the passive right now. So it's going to be dying to a Robo multi-hit, but can you actually get a Robo multi-hit up if you get this pair stunned by a Haegang?
Oh! How do we call this say at the moment? Because the Moore has that passive up. Can he get rid of that Robo? Push it back?
You have to push it back. No, the Robo takes a turn. It has the multi-hit. It does have glancing, but it does do enough damage to actually give that victory to nice Smiser. Taking in his final match, actually, his only victory of the whole league.
Yeah, wow. Nice Smiser. Had a reputation to hold, and he has come out firing against Glorious there right now. 2-0 for Nice Smiser. Glorious right now couldn't get any points, but he will be already in the playoffs. Where he will be on the playoffs is still yet to be decided from the matches that we have last, or the 1 match that we'll definitely have last later. Say, right there, you could see again, turn 2. Do we all start playing turn 2 now?
It works from time to time. It also sometimes doesn't work. It's kind of depending on your playstyle and also the runes. I definitely do know that nicest Smiser, he's very focused on all of those heavy bruiser Vio runes. If you're trying to turn 2 while you only have speedy runes, it's not gonna work. But it also is the other way around, and that's why nice Smiser decides to go for more turn 2. He's just simply saying like, I got good rune quality, but I don't have the speed. So I'm just gonna pair all of those units that don't really need that speed, that can take over a turn 2. And then it works for him. So it's all about the playstyle that you also like to play, because some people just don't like to play it. And the runes you have, the units you have, and everything combined.
Exactly. So for all of you guys, check out your boxes, check out your runes. When you're playing RTA as well, make sure you kind of working to the best within your own ability at those types of things. You might see some of these guys, but remember some of the rune quality, the artifacts. These guys have been playing for a long time. They know a lot about their whole box, and they're ready to kind of conquer all. Me, maybe not so much. But here we go. Looking forward to that next match, say, the last one of our Summoners War European League Day 7. Well, in terms of the actual league itself, we do have Rexus versus Paxic. They haven't played each other on ladder in the past 2 seasons, so we have no idea what's going to be happening going into this right now. But calling all legends around EU, who will take the top spot in the Battle of the Germans as we're going into our Summoners War European League Day 7, Match 12, Set 1 between Rexus and Paxic, say.
Yeah, let's see what we have for the bans over here. Once again, I could be looking at like a Light Monkey ban, maybe a Tian Lang ban, maybe a Julian ban, because those are the comfortable units that these people like to play with. However, Paxic, he does have a lot of LDs, but he often goes for just simple Vanessa, Sagar, Kavachi, and then just a bunch of bruiser units. So it's not always super LD focused, whereas Rexus, we have seen that most of his wins probably came from that Light Monkey.
Yeah, that Light Monkey, it's super strong. Deciding right now to ban out that Julian. We're not going to be seeing double 17Ks in this particular set, say. Chandra being locked out on the side of Paxic as well. Are we going to see a Vanessa first pick, or are we going to see something different from Paxic here?
I would say, ooh, actually goes for steal on that more. That's definitely a comfortable pick normally from Rexus that he likes to play. Haegang is definitely then something that Rexus likes to answer.
Yeah, we've got followed up by the Esche. We've got Tian Lang on the side of Paxic with that Cigar as well. Very fast in terms of the picks right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the Tian Lang is probably, like Haegang is one of the stronger units out there right now. Tian Lang is one of the hardest counter, if not the hardest counter on a Haegang. So for that reason, when you draft in a Haegang into, or if you draft Tian Lang into Haegang, probably your enemy is already looking at, I have to get rid of this Tian Lang. So locking in a Light Monkey right now might be a little bit more difficult with the draft that Paxic is showing.
Ooh, we're seeing a Villagel coming out. We know the partnership with Haegang can be super beneficial. Following up with a Smiser as well. When it can get online, those silences and the bombs and stuns really can prevent the opposition from kind of getting online, like we keep saying there. How do you think Paxic looks to respond, say?
I definitely do think that Paxic would like to match the Bruiser style, because he's more of a Bruiser player than a really straight on turn 1 player, whereas Rex is actually now transitioning to more turn 2 Bruiser-ish kind of style. And I definitely do like this Pheromones Juno combination. The only issue is that Tianling is on the field, kind of preventing the cycling with those two. However, if the Tianling is banned, then those two units are doing very well. So Rexus in this position maybe can be looking at like a Fire Cassandra banning out that Cigar, but if you lock in a Fire Cassandra right now, it is very obvious what you're going to ban.
Yeah, you're bringing in a unit right now, potentially a snipe unit, like you were saying, which is going to be a kind of an instinct for the opposition to ban it out. Gapsu, though, changing things up right there.
Gapsu is definitely interesting. That would say that you probably get the Tianlang off the field, because that will enable the Gapsu to get most amount of turns, and the Gapsu doesn't really care too much about the Juno and the Pheromones.
Let's see then. We've seen Smiser being banned out there along with the Tianlang, which is leading up now to the leader skills being selected for both of these guys. We're going to find out exactly what is happening in our Summoners War European League Day 7. It's the last match of the day. It's the last match of the league, but it's only set one. We've got another one following up with the Dark HP lead on the side of Gapsu and the Speed lead with More on the side of Paxic. Here we are, League Day 7, Match 12, Set 1, Rexus versus Paxic. Esche is going to be taking that first turn safe, but More is very fast.
More is definitely very fast, but in this case, taking the first turn is not as interesting, because this is definitely going to be a fight that's won like 50 turns down the line rather than in the first few turns. So we're definitely going to be seeing like how this progresses out, like how is the Juno going to get its cycling, which unit is going to leave the battlefield first. We're definitely going to be looking at the Valor Jewel, what armor breaks can he land and what units can follow, because we do know a lot of these players have this high crit rate Ashes, and that's also the reason why this Cigar goes for that Asher, trying to lock out that Asher to not be able to get the skills in.
This could be the battle of the healing right now. So we see Juno on the field, we see Veramos. Gapsu doing great work there for the Esche on the side of Rexus.
Yeah, absolutely, but also the battle of the healing really favors Gapsu, because if the enemy is healing, just check the attack bar that Gapsu is getting. Every time that the Juno heals, it's an AoE heal. That's a lot of attack bar for the Gapsu. Veramos does the exact same thing.
Yep, he's now trying to set up with the defense break and the provoke on the Esche, but he's got to start dealing some damage because Cigar's not healthy at all.
Yeah, that's the thing about the comp that Paxic is running. It's pretty much your enemy deciding when you heal. Whereas the comp of Rexus, you have passive healers in there, but also active healers in there. But it's passive when you kind of like every time you take a turn. Whereas the Juno, it's only like, okay, if there's debuffs, I can heal. Same for the Veramos. But if you just decide not to land debuffs, in this case, if you don't go for a skill 2, there's no healing going on the side of Paxic.
Yeah, you can see that he's tunneling the damage into that Cigar, and he'll decide to deal with the others a little bit later on. The defense break on that Gapsu at the moment, it's gone, baby.
Yeah, it's definitely gone, and I think that Rexus is definitely looking very nice in this position right now. He's definitely in the driver's seat because he can just do the same trick over and over. Just not go for any of those debuffs, just keep in one of those skill 1s in, just keep in those skills that don't do any defense breaks, don't do any pretty much anything, and you just tumble it down. You just keep damaging, and it's just all very nice single target damage out there, and you can kind of ignore the healers.
Yeah, and you can see just the damage that's coming into that Gapsu. He can heal it up straight away afterwards, and it's just going to be a battle of degradation against Paxic right now.
Yeah, absolutely, because Veramos and Juno, it's definitely very nice units that could do some solo work, but not really against super lively units that do tend to heal a lot, that only have single target damage, that can just target one and another out. And this is definitely very well drafted by Rexus right here.
Yeah, I like in this draft right now, playing against an opponent, setting up now for that skill 3 on the Juno. It's not quite enough, but that Juno again is not going to be on the battlefield for too much longer.
We can get the Veramos with an actual triple stun, but we have Gapsu saying like, stuns, I also don't care about those. You heal a lot, I get attack bar, I heal my whole team. It's pretty much the healing is all the Gapsu.
Yeah, look at this. Now this is just whatever you can do, I can heal it up, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Like throughout this whole match, none of the units of Rexus ever looked like kind of near to death. So this was definitely very well drafted in this Bruiser fight.
Rexus taking it then the first set against Paxic. It's going to put him 1-0 up. And again, remember, guys, these points that these players can get right now is going to dictate their seeding in the playoffs. So if Paxic can get at least another point, he's going to be somewhere around that 3rd or 4th spot behind the likes of Pink Roid and Obabo, which is definitely beneficial. Skip out the Friday, get to the Saturday in those playoffs. We've got pre-bans coming in right now. Say, how do you answer to that? What just happened?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because Rexus actually hard beat Paxic with his own playstyle. So normally where Rexus really likes to go for turn 1, it actually kind of went for turn 2 and it was very, very strong. So Paxic is probably really thinking like, okay, in that previous matchup, how was that drafted? What kind of unit should you lock out to prevent that kind of draft? Because all of the units that Rexus was using are units that Paxic likes to use normally as well.
Yeah, let's find out. I mean, it's all the tables turning in the Summoners War European League. Those pre-bans have been coming in, and it is going to be the Tian Lang and the Mo. So if I can't have more, you can't have more.
Yeah, absolutely. So the question is, Rexus, are you going to go back to a first pick Hagang, which we have seen today being played quite a lot? Yes, he does. Other side, Sagar, Chandra. Oh, these guys are not disappointing us right now.
Nice. This is what the viewers came for, right? You wanted to see that. We see an Esche now. Now we see a Velajul as well, sir.
Yeah, definitely a lot of Velajuls here today as well. You don't see too many Velajuls on ladder, but this is definitely a more favorable draft from Paxic because he has a lot more damage in this time. Plus, he has a way more active healing. However, the Dumon is very strong into those units, such as a Julian.
Yeah, we saw last time he did manage to take out a Julian from Obabo's Dooman. Here we've got Rexus with his own Dooman right now. I'm thinking, how else would you follow this up right now, say? I mean, it's going into kind of that shift of momentum into a turn 2.
Well, if you happen to have a Rocky as well, you can definitely leave in those 4 units that you see on the field right now, because most likely you can snipe that out. And we see a Geltnir. We haven't seen a Geltnir played ever. Geltnir is actually an interesting unit because Geltnir gets a stack every time that Marsha moves, because Marsha moves, gets immunity, therefore gets stacked, but in this case is also removed from the battle.
Taken out of the battlefield. Dooman as well being banned out. We've got the fire lead, a HP lead on the side of Rexus, coming up on the side of the speed lead with the Paxic as well. We're going into our Summoners War European League Day 7, match 12, set 2 between Rexus and Paxic. Hagang going to be following up that Esche skill 2. Oh!
Whoa, there's so many stunts going on that Hagang, locking out the whole battlefield. Normally I would say like, hey, that's an actual Gianna on the field right there, but this one was, wow, there's just so much going on. Plus we have a lot of setup for the Marsha. Marsha can just take simply a lot of damage with the Asher going in with a lot of damage, and Rexus is making quick work of this match.
Wow, I mean, those stuns were crazy right there. Velajul, can he set up a defense break? Doesn't get it. Usually high on resistance in a Riley, and we do know any additional turns from a Riley can really change the game, though, sir.
Yeah, it can definitely still change the game. It will take a little bit of time for the Marsha to get online with like proper skills again. And the big question is, does the Julian have enough time to actually go for his skills right now? Because it's probably going to be protected right now, or at least boosted up. Riley can go for the skills. The big question is right now, Julian with the skill 2, can you take, oh, just a skill 1, can you additional turn into the skill 2, taking off the beast? Yes, you do.
13k hits there, so with the attack buff, and Riley staying on the field will keep giving that attack buff to the Julian. This is probably going to be in constant cycling with it. The totems on that totemist, I'm not sure, I think it's fully stacked.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be fully stacked pretty soon because he keeps hitting it. If you go for skill 2 right now again, once again gets a stun on that Chandra, but doesn't get the stun this time on, but does get the armor break, and we have her moving next, but we have her taking a lot of damage at first.
Oh, she has the 4th skill available, gonna put up the immunity and the attack bar as well, but Marsha, can she take it out?
Easily. That skill 2 is a lot of damage, 41k, that will probably take out the full attack bar, but once again, Julian is built on 70 crit rate to crit with that skill 2, not with the skill 1. Missing double crits, actually managed to not take out that Marsha.
Yeah, and right now, Rexus in the driving seat. Hagang managing to get those stuns at the important moment. Boosting up right now. He's going to lose Marsha along the way. Oh, decided not to. Woo.
Yeah, decided not to. I kind of like the decision because in the end, you kind of would waste your skill on the Marsha, but the match was pretty much already over. So if you get additional turns based on that, it was probably the way to play. But in the end, the Hagang AoE Despair stun at the start was just too strong.
Wow, there you go. Rexus managing to get 2 set wins against Paxic right now. That's absolutely crazy, and all the best for him. Now, obviously, both of those players have managed to make it through to the Summoners War European League playoffs anyway, so we'll be seeing them next week. But I've just been told by our producers in the background, we're going to have a look at the highlights quickly of that last match, just to relive the moments for Rexus, to really enjoy finally getting some extra points and jumping a little bit further up the Summoners War European League leaderboard. We're also going to have a look at the schedule of the day, some of the results, but there is still one more match this evening. We are going to be playing one more best of 3 actually later on, and that will be between Obabo and Pink Roid in order to find out who is going to be rank number 1 of the Summoners War European League leaderboard. So stick around. We've still got plenty of things, and obviously you're not going to go away empty-handed from tonight as well. There is going to be something special on the screen very, very soon when we get told to actually, show it to all of you. But because of that, we're so excited right now. We've still got one more match.
We got one more match, and that's actually one of those, I would say, the highlight match of today that everyone's like, oh, Pink Roid, Obabo playing against each other. That's what everyone wanted to see, right? We're gonna get more of that. So that's definitely going to be an interesting one. So for the tiebreakers, there's only one exact amount of same points. Also, the head-to-head is like a 1-1. Everything is like exactly tied between these two players. Therefore, they have to play a tiebreaker against one another for the first seed.
Yeah, and like we said, that will make them have the first pick during the Summoners War European League playoffs further down the line. And that will be crucial because by that point, it is going to be best of 7s. And if you're going to potentially have 4 first picks against 3, could really be beneficial, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, best of 7s is very interesting because a lot of these players have experience with best of 5s and best of 3s. But no one actually probably has experience with best of 7s because in SWC or prelims or anything like that, we don't play best of 7s normally.
Yeah, exactly. We usually don't, but we will be very, very soon. We'll be having a look later on as well at the leaderboard. You can see all the matches that have happened through today. That is our Summoners War League Day 7. And that is exactly what has ended up with the whole of the table and how things have actually gone through in the end. Wow, some crazy matches we've had today. And we're going to have one more. And it's probably one of the ones that everybody in the chat wanted to see again. And this time they're going to see it not only as a best of 2, but actually as a best of 3 as well. Best of 3 this time, guys. We're just teasing you. Best of 3 now, best of 5 later, best of 7s. We're going to have a full spread of everything for you to be able to see. I think as well, we can probably actually give all the people watching what they wanted.
Yeah, probably. Well, the thing is, I haven't seen it. I keep a track on my phone as well if we can give away it yet, but just not yet. They're still working out a few things with like the current standings because they're also having to check like, okay, which kind of people are on the same amount of points. There's a lot of people that were actually pretty close on points to one another. And I think that's also interesting to see with the whole Summoners War Europe League. It's not like 1 or 2 people like stomping the whole league and then kind of duking it out against one another. Actually, all of those points were relatively close. Everyone's able to take like a good amount of wins. And also everyone was still taking quite a bunch of losses.
Exactly. I mean, you can see the point spread if you want to check it out with the command SWEL or EL, you'll see everything in the actual leaderboard as well. And because of that, you can find out exactly what the whole leaderboard and how that all stacks up as well along the way. I mean, for any of those people that might be listening, just let us know if we can share this thing with the lovely community because we really want to. We love these guys watching with us and it's been so fun and there's still more to come and it's Obabo and it's glorious. This is going to be awesome. I'm so excited. I'm more excited as well to see best of 5s. Well, not best of 5, but more the best of 7s coming up as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like best of 7s is also really going to be interesting because what we had a lot with these best of 2s here is that you had 2 really different matches. But with a best of 5, you can see like the matches going back and forth. Like the 1 could be a repeat of the 3 and the 5. But with a best of 7, it's really also more of a marathon. Like it's more like you can actually lose a lot of those matches and you can go into the thing saying like, okay, I can kind of like lose 1 or 2 matches, just kind of feel like, okay, what kind of speeds are you in a song? What kind of playstyle is he playing on? What kind of things is he normally doing? And getting a reverse sweep of like 4 wins in a row is going to be difficult though, but it would be cool to see actually.
Yeah, imagine a 4 sweep. I mean, it's not maybe what every dream is made of because you don't want to be in that position where you even have to do it in the first place, right? But in this case, this is what we are here for. Guys, stick around with us. We're just preparing everything in the background for that final match. So it is going to be Obabo versus Pink Roid to determine who is going to be ranked number 1 in the Summoners War leaderboard. And with that as well, we have something for you, obviously.
We have prepared for playoffs. Well, the players are definitely doing that, but you can do at the same time grabbing another mystical scroll. You might say like, just 1 mystical scroll. Well, if you have been here for all 7 weeks, you got 7 mystical scrolls, eh? It adds up. It adds up.
Exactly. You can see in front of you as well now the final standings of the Summoners War European League leaderboard. Maybe just to give some context as well, some of the people do have the same points, but remember, like I said earlier in the day, this is judged on, first of all, by the head-to-head record. So if the person won 2-0 against the other person, then they're higher up in the leaderboard. If that is the same, so let's say they drew it, it goes down to set wins, then it goes to the amount of matches that were won, and then it would have gone to a tiebreaker. But the only tiebreaker we actually need in this case is Obabo and Roid. You can see at the top, 5 wins, 5 draws, 1 loss, and they drew 1-1 earlier today as well. Should mention as well, they say, big thanks again to those players, Nicer, Smiser, Hansol, Adrey, and Angel. Even just to get here in the Summoners War European League is no easy feat. And these guys have shown they were close. Look at Angel. I mean, he was also on 10 points right there. He was very close to making it through, right?
Yeah, absolutely very close. And it's also interesting to see where Adrey actually did took 2 wins, the same as Sambi, Sap, and Guts, but didn't get enough draws. And that's also what we have been saying throughout the whole SWEL. Getting those draw-ins, just grabbing a little bit of points here and there is definitely very nice.
It definitely is. And you can see it's nice because they're going to be joining us next weekend. Next week and weekend. I'll explain a little bit more at the end of this best of 3 that we're going to do with Obabo and Roid. But this is what they've all been here for, to win part of that €10,000 cash prize. And once they get their hands on that, you are sure as hell ready that they're going to be preparing again for SWC afterwards, because that season is coming pretty soon. I mean, the previous season or current season in ladder that's just ended is part of the qualification. We've also got that next season. People right now are wanting to jump up the ladder, and you look at someone like that, like Hansol, let's say, we said very high on the ladder. When there's a pre-ban, he kind of suffered a little bit in this European League, but he's been at an SWC before, so we know he can do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely one of the players that we will be seeing in the qualifiers. And also a lot of the names that you actually saw on that list just now will probably be in the qualifiers as well.
Yeah, definitely. I've just had a quick look over there. I hope all of you enjoyed your Mystical Scroll. Let us know what you did get in chat. Last week, I got a water Inugami. So maybe right now it's not useful for me, but maybe there's something useful for you in there. Maybe it's your next Chandra. Maybe it's the next Vanessa. Who knows? You'll never know until you open that scroll. And that's exactly what we're preparing right now. We are going to be looking into or forward towards our match. We're actually going to go to a quick 5-minute break, actually, just because we're preparing those matches. Stick around. It's the final match. It's Roid versus Obabo. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Smart European League, and of course we're back because we have a tiebreaker. Obabo and Pink Roid managed to join first place with a total of 5 wins, 5 draws and 1 and the head-to-head they had 1-1. So we're going into a best of 3 now because we need to decide who is the number 1 going into the playoffs, who will then have first pick going into that playoffs, and it is a best of 7, so that first pick is going to be crazy for him. Now, obviously, these players, we're getting ready right now. We're preparing exactly everything for them. We already know these guys so well. They're familiar faces in our SWCs. They're everywhere that we've seen before. And I just can't wait. We can also inform everyone that it will be Obabo taking the first pick during this matchup. We'll speak a little bit later about the actual days for next week as well, because it won't be Wednesday next week. It will be a Friday and a Saturday where we're doing the playoffs. So make sure you prepare yourselves, free up your calendars, do whatever you need to do prior to Friday, 8 o'clock, and Saturday at 2 o'clock. Now, obviously, that's going to be in CEST, purely because we're changing the clocks this weekend and we're getting right into things. We're just going to update everything around there. It is Pink Roid versus Obabo, and I was prepared for this, guys, with my lines because I knew there was going to be tiebreakers. So what did the hat say to the tie? You hang around, I'll go on ahead. Here we go. Let's get into our Summoners War European League Day 7 tiebreaker between Pink Roid and Obabo.
Ooh, banning out LDs. Once again, the Duman. It's one of the few Duman pre-bans we have seen. We haven't seen too many of those, but definitely a unit if you want to lock in the Julian. It is one of those units you want to take out. Atma in this case going to Obabo. That leaves the Hay Gang that both of the players do like to play quite a lot open up. So is Pink Roid going to do it? And Darius technically is good into a unit that does a lot of turn cycling and wind units, so into an Atma. It's definitely not bad, and Pink Roid does it. He goes for a Minato and he goes for an Antares right there.
Oh, here we go. Actually, you might need to carry on a little bit because I'm a little bit behind you right now from what I can see.
Okay, so we have that Trinity going in and also the pure vanilla cookie. So definitely very turn 1 focus into very turn 2 focus with a Kinky, with a Feng Yang there as well.
Yeah. No, you might have to keep going here. I can hear what you're saying and I'm enjoying it, but I can't see what's actually going on.
Okay, no problem at all. So we definitely have a lot of turn 1 focus from Obabo going in with a Sonya and an Elenoa. Actually, interesting enough, we haven't seen the Elenoa from Obabo all day today yet, but we also have a Leica. So in this position, Pink Roid is deciding to say, I do not want to play third skill. I'm allergic to playing third skill. I only want to press first skill or second skill. Whereas Obabo actually has all kinds of units going in there. Trinity and Elenoa are going to be in the match right now. So it's going to be all about the Antares and then see what happens from there. So going into the tiebreaker first turn, going to Obabo. Obabo, are you still gonna go for an S2? Because an S2 in this position, no, actually managed to stun the Leica where it was not 100%. And Terra's taking a turn. And Terra's takes the additional turn. Are you going to be taking out that Sonya? You could maybe take out that Sonya. Does get a double hit, does not kill the Sonya. We have Sonya going in with damage. Can you actually kill a unit? Does kill the Antares.
Oh! And I'm back for that because it's died. Here we've got Elenoa coming in. She has the skills available. Looking to use that skill to Despair Stuns.
Despair Stuns. There's so many Despair Stuns. Despair Stuns across the board. We have the Trinity with the skin also doing a lot of stuff. Well, actually not that much. It's just the Despair Stuns. We have the Atna going in with the cycling. Skill 2 did not manage to land the armor break. Does have the skill 3 once again. Can go on the Panda. Can 100% stun the Panda. Does stun the Panda. Can you take out the Panda right now? Trinity's doing nothing.
What do you mean, Sid? Look how beautiful she looks in that skin right now.
She is doing her best.
Exactly, that's all you can ask for is Etna decides to clean up. I'm really annoyed that they were both cooking and I couldn't see any of that cooking. Obabo taking that first point 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely a very interesting draft. I would say more of an interesting draft by Pink Roid with all of those turn 2 units that could work in their own right. But I would say that, yeah, in the end, we had that Elenoa going AoE Despair Stone. Once again, we have seen it a few times today. Despair Stone is definitely very strong.
Yes, they are super strong in the Despairs. So we got the pre-bans in the last round of the Dooman and with the Tianlang there. Do we get a Respect Trinity ban, say? Tell me yes.
no. We gotta respect on the Elenoa ban. That makes a lot more sense. Respect ban on the Celia, though, is a little bit more strange. I would say that these two players are just kind of like testing the waters because in the end, they have to play a best of 5. Or even a best of 7. No, wait, they're straight on best of 7. So they're kind of like this. Whoever takes first pick, they don't really care. They're not gonna share all of their secrets for the best of 7 that they have to play next week. So they're just kind of goofing it out. And that's definitely something that reminds me of back in the days for SWC. The moment that you know, like, okay, I'm gonna be facing these players in SWC, I don't want to show my full draft. So anytime I face them on the leaderboard, I just draft whatever. And drafting level 1 units, though, I haven't seen that all too much.
No, that's usually, I mean, maybe he's taken a bit of experience from you, say, leveling up those monsters to 6-star, getting some good energy, doing some more farming, getting those artifacts and the runes that we've seen that these guys have both got, the quality that they have. Coco's cooking.
Yeah, Coco's cooking, but I would say into level 1 units, probably everything kind of works. It kind of reminds me where we do like the rehearsals for casting, and we see all kinds of level 1 units being popped up right now, but the only difference is this is the final match of today, so I did not expect level 1 units here right now.
Nope, neither did I, because actually, guys, this match kind of does matter because it means that they get first pick in the playoffs that are going to be coming next week. So maybe Pinkroyd wants that turn 2, sir. That's what he's telling me right now.
Yeah, that could be a thing. Well, they have the choice of if they go first or second. So maybe he just says like, Obabo, you choose. I don't like to make choices in life.
Well, he kind of changed his mind a little bit. He's brought the Chow, brought the Teo. We've got Trinity back again.
But Sam, would you ban a level 1 unit right now? Or would you just go like, no, man, I take victories?
This is a mind game. I don't know. Like, if you want to win it, then you ban out something else, right? If you're okay, see?
Yeah, I respect that. I would ban out the high level unit. I go for victories. No one takes those from me. But let's see if those level 1 units maybe actually cook something up. The big question is, are they ruined though? They are ruined. Yes. They are actually ruined. Okay.
So what were they prepared for?
Nem traps? I have no clue. Being that, no. they were prepared for dying.
Yeah, I don't think there was any trapping there, apart from Chow, maybe trapping a Coco, not in that case. We've got Feng Yang coming in, gonna be enough soon enough to take out that Chow as well, so defense break lands.
Or was it to showcase that Trinity is the best unit in game and more people should actually pick it up? Because it just one-shot 2 units straight off the get-go right there.
Exactly, and she looks beautiful in that skin from the Siege as well. Taking that hit right now, Antares isn't going to be able to take a turn, I can imagine, anytime soon, as Coco's going to plow in the damage with an additional turn.
No additional turn, but we have a threat state, and the threat state will make it that you go for a counter, and that is the dead attempts.
So we can confirm, guys, it is going to be Obabo taking that close victory against Pinkroyd here in the Summoners War European League, our tie-break match to find out who was going to be rank number 1 from the leaderboard. Now, that is everything in terms of those matches that have happened today. I mean, the end of that match there, maybe they weren't too much care about. You've already made it to the top 2 spots, right? And you're going to guarantee yourself your place into that Saturday already in the playoffs, where they will meet up in that best of 7, like we were saying. How excited are you for that?
Yeah, definitely going to be very looking forward to the best of 7s because it's just very different. Once again, we started off very different in this whole league with all of the best of 2s. Now changing things up once again, best of 7s.
Exactly, you can see there. So that is your final confirmation of the Summoners War European League standings. Obabo first spot, Pinkroyd second, Paxic third, 4th Rexus, 5 Glorious, 6 Tito Golet, 7 Guts the Berserk, and 8 Sambi set. The top 4 will actually only join the playoff competition on the Saturday, and the first 4 will already be playing from the Friday. You can see right now exactly how that looks. We have Glorious versus Sambi set, Tito Golet versus Guts the Berserk. Once they win those first matches, they will go into the playoffs day 1, where actually, my mistake, Paxic and Rexus will join them for that next stage of matches. It will be Obabo and Pinkroyd that will advance all the way through to the playoffs day 2 already and have an easier route to that final. Now, obviously, you can see there round 1 and round 2 will be best of 5s. And from round 3 all the way up until the finals, it will be a best of 7. A new format for us in Europe, sir.
Yeah, absolutely a new format, and I definitely do like the idea as well, because if you're in round 3 and you win your match, you right away go to the final. So that's definitely a bypass where you don't have to go for a double elimination style. There's pretty much just only for the rank 1 and rank 2 there's a double elimination style. For all of the others there's not, but we had a lot of leagues where you could like lose matches back and forth. In this case, it's just all about you gotta win them.
Exactly. You've got to take all of that spirit or knowledge that you've learned of the players that you've faced off against during the actual league phase, take it into that playoff phase, and right now, this is it. This is what we're going to see next week. It's going to be on Friday at 8 o'clock, and it's going to be on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Maybe to mention the reason why we had to do that match between Obabo and Roid, the person at the top with the rank 1 will get the choice of that first pick. So it kind of does dictate they get that advantage. However, it's up to them to decide what they want to do with it. For the rest of the guys now, obviously they need to, how many matches? I think it's 4 if you're from the bottom round all the way up, or you have to win 5 matches to actually win the whole thing. Still a lot of matches, but momentum might carry them through, right, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have seen it work in previous like double elimination prelims, where especially in like the Korea region or something like that, where people just won 7 matches in a row. It is possible. So let's see if that happens.
Definitely is. And guys, remember, we are back next week. It's a different day, different time. Friday, 8 o'clock in the evening, Europeans, summertime. Then it's Saturday at 2 o'clock. Check out all our social medias, Summoners War EU, in-game. You'll see all of the promotion. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed the Summoners War European League phase. And we'll see you at the playoffs, right, Say?
Yes, thanks for watching, guys. See you later.